while you search for your dream home. Then in the future, if rates come down, with a simple refinance, we can lower that monthly payment. Everything starts today at thehomeloanexpert.com. Home in the 10-day closing guarantee.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Okay, 3 more climbers, 7 loggers.
Ted's sustainably sourced logging company is growing a new branch.
What about truck driver contracts?
Which means a new HR manager will be the first hire to fall.
Then we'll need to staff up the warehouse.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
At Eskenazi Health, our patients are treated with compassion and skill. That's why Eskenazi Health is looking for professionals who share our mission and are dedicated to serving the community. As an employee of Indiana's top hospital for social responsibility and community health investment, you'll enjoy excellent benefits, competitive pay, and unwavering leadership support. Learn more about Eskenazi Health careers online at eskenazihealth.edu/careers.
Text Spartan to the Mower Shop in Fishers, 317-849-9500 for $500 off RZ, CRZ, and RZ Pro Spartan mowers with instant rebate on extended warranty. TheMowerShop.com.
It's the Colts VIP Tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Make your game day experience the best it can be. Log on and get your tickets now. It's bullseyeeventgroup.com.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis. Marion travels to Concordia on American Standards College Football Saturday. The coverage begins at 1 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
What in the hell do you think you're doing?
Hey, John Boy.
I'm telling you straight, it's my way or the highway. So anybody wants to walk, do it now.
Hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
And again, it's picked up. It's Darius Leonard. A pick 6 for the Maniac. Touchdown, I-N-D-Y. Yes, sir.
Oh, the chicken. Double time.
Myles Turner.
Yeah.
John, I have never been better to be on the air with you here in Indianapolis, a place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, welcome in. I absolutely love the Denary and Quinn call with Myles Turner right there. And I'm sure I told Kevin Bowen yesterday, I said, you enjoyed my mentions last night because when everybody found out that Myles, and I guess when Rick Carlisle found out from reporters last night before the game that Myles had around 5 o'clock, and apparently there is no video of it, which I'd like to know. We'll talk to JJ about that coming up in a couple of minutes. I do want to give a bit of a recap for that Pacer opener last night, that loss 114-107. If you're in the camp of you want to see them win some games, you're probably thinking, all right, that was not successful. If you're on the other side where you're hoping that maybe they're in the lottery for Wimbayama at some point, then you probably dug it. If you're really, and I mean truly keeping track at home, you watched one of the essential tanking teams in the NBA actually get a win last night with Colin Sexton in Utah. Utah absolutely has crapped out to tank, and they got a win last night over the Nuggets. But here it was 114-107, the Wizards over the Pacers. I mentioned this because Myles Turner went out for warm-ups around 5 and reportedly came down, stepped on the foot of a ball boy, and rolled his ankle. They said that it's not bad. However, I saw where Shams had a report before I came down here to Coaches, and we'll talk about that in a second, where he is going to be out at least a week. And when you think about this, coming up tomorrow night, San Antonio's here, I believe, right? And then they have another one, coming up on Saturday. So back-to-backs, 3 in all, counting last night, home games before they head out on a 5-game road trip on the East Coast and into Chicago as well. So it kind of makes you wonder how many of those games on the road he may end up seeing. But I'm sure you want to send me tweets. I'm sure you want to respond to it. You did last night. I got bib overall pictures where he had one flap down. Listen, I was back in the day. I was bib over. I got my Oshkoshes on because I saw what they did in Belle Biv DeVoe, and I wanted to be Belle Biv DeVoe. So I got the shorts version of them, and then I went one flap down as well. So I can't talk about anybody's wardrobe. And back in the day, I used to dig it. But I know that you probably want to get at me regarding that. I don't know what else to say about it. At some point, he's going to play. But last night, it sounds like it is the absolute freakish freak accidents. I'm just kind of curious where anybody gets off believing that he doesn't want to play. I got a lot of that last night. Oh, he doesn't want to play here. Oh, he didn't want to be here. Get him out of here. Hey, let me first tell you, jackass, of something here, okay? Let me first let you in on something. You want him to be as healthy as possible. And you don't want to just give him away. You want to try to get something out of it. You guys do understand the situation right now. They are in a rebuild. All right? It's going to look like that most of the year. And I told you that. You have to embrace the little things with this. You do. Embrace the little things from last night. You saw Tyrese Halliburton have a good game. I think everybody liked Benedict Mathurin and what he did in his first game in the NBA last night. Couple of things you can grasp. Yeah, others not so much. But it's going to be the little things this year, and I've said that all along. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for you to hang in because most of the nights with this team will look exactly like last night. I was talking about this a little bit earlier. Maybe the Wizards come out of the gate and maybe they're at this moment good. I just don't know how sustainable that is. And I certainly thought it was more because of them or because of the Pacers than most because of them. The Pacers did keep it interesting. But we got last night, other than I didn't expect Myles Turner to step on the foot of a ball boy and be lost for a week. What we got last night was essentially what you're going to get the entire season. So get ready for it. And I wanted to griping because I put it out there. I said, listen, are you guys going to hang? I said, listen, are you guys going to have patience? Because this is what this is going to be. And after the first game, I can't believe that. Like last night, it was funny. Because I start blanking with people a little bit last night, just for my own enjoyment. Nothing over the top. I mean, nothing that was a-hole worthy out of me. Don't get me wrong. But I started blanking with people last night about it. And somebody, I think it was Jason, that sent me a tweet. And he said, so what are you going to do last night? I mean, you're so close. And that's a beatable team. And your home opener. I mean, you talk about letting a must-win situation go by the board. And while I understood completely the sarcasm in that, when I retweeted and said, yeah, I know you really had to have that one, others essentially did not get that same sense of sarcasm. Well, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Said, hey, I know the situation. I understand the situation. Again, if you don't want to drive yourself crazy regarding this, you are going to have to just hold on and then embrace these little things. And I know for a lot of you Pacer fans, you might be bent out of shape because it's a struggle for you to watch, or you're paying this, or they're not going to be any good this season and you want them to be good right now, or you want this, maybe you thought that magically starting where they're starting right now that they would somehow surprise. Well, they're not. They're not. And it's going to take most of your patience to get through the season because a lot of the nights will look just like that. A lot of the nights will look, you go back to the 80s, and this is a playoff analogy here, but you go back to the 80s, and I'll give you a Western Conference playoff analogy. Every single year, it seemed, with the exception of, 81, with the exception of 86, most part, right? Every single Western Conference season, they go into the postseason, and you end up getting the Lakers, and the Lakers would be matched up with the Nuggets. And you'd have, Fat Lever and Danny Shays. And it would be an interesting back and forth, and the Nuggets would hang in, the Nuggets would make it close, and then what would happen? The Lakers would pull away. The Lakers would win. The Nuggets would make it interesting. Walter Davis and the Suns back in the day. They would also make it interesting. Hey, Cam, can you go back to where I was initially here? Because all of a sudden I kind of lost my ears a little bit right there. Just a little bit more if you wouldn't mind. That's Cam, the on-site engineer, because I'm one that doesn't hear very well. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That is perfect. But you go back to those days, and the teams would get close and then end up losing. And that's what you're going to see a lot of this year. You're going to have moments where you're thinking, man, Halliburton is going to be a dude. You're going to have moments where you're going to think Mathurin is going to be a dude. And you're also going to have moments where you're thinking, all right, so Myles Turner doesn't play last night. Why does Isaiah Jackson not get more minutes? Why only 16? You're going to be questioning a lot. You're going to be trying to find anything whatsoever that is the least bit embraceable, and you might as well get ready for it. Because that's exactly how it's going to look most of the season. Some nights will be better than others. Some nights they'll be even more consistent. Some nights, in fact, you'll go, wait a minute. Somebody like you, JMV, is completely underselling how good this team can be. But alas, I'm not. That is what you're looking at this season. And you have to, as I mentioned earlier, embrace the embraceables. We'll talk to JJ about that coming up here in a couple of minutes with the Pacers opener last night at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Got two more coming up Friday and Saturday, and then they embark on a 5-game road trip again to start the season. Here's the other thing. I brought up uniforms yesterday, right? Kind of at the beginning of the show. It was kind of a throw-in, throw-away type of comment regarding night number one. You know how I like it. You guys know me. I like retro things. I swear to you, I will buy a bag of Doritos if it has a retro bag. And that's all that matters. It's all the same crap inside the bag. But if I see on the shelf, if I see a Doritos bag that has the window to the fatness, the window to the bad health, that shows me all the orange powdery substance that ultimately will end up on your fingers when you dive into that bag. If there's a window on that bag, I'm buying it. I will basically buy anything retro. Kyle Unimart back at the studio can tell you just that. Anything retro, I'm down with. I am down with uniforms retro, and I am down with original. Normally, I'm not down with this new stuff. We got to come out with a new uniform. This is alternative. In this case, this is the city. Normally, that's not me. So last night, I think it was last night, right? I know originally J-Law sent this to me, and then I think Alex Golden also sent it to me and asked the question, I don't like these uniforms. What do you think? Apparently, it's the leak. There is a leak of the Pacer City uniform. And I don't know if it's because I just know what the season is going to be. And if you're going to try out a uniform where so far with this leak, most of the people aren't very happy with, it might as well be this year. If we're trying to figure out the design, and I don't know what it is, honestly. I don't know. It's got some yellow, and it looks like something construction. And I had mentioned to Kyle back at the studio before I walked down here to Coaches, it has that casket feel to it. It's kind of weird looking. And then everybody, at least from what I have seen via social media, everybody's piled on, and everybody hates it. I don't, which is different, right? Because normally I do. Normally I go, oh, man, that's new. I don't want any part of new. Give me retro, give me original. But I didn't mind that. And if you're going to try out stuff like that, you might as well try it out this particular season. No, I mean, it's not one of those things where you have a do-over. But this is the price that you pay for all of you that wanted the Pacers to do just this. It's the price you pay. You know, it's kind of interesting getting back to Myles for a minute, too. I'm going to get Brent Holverson in here. You know, Week 7, our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots coming up. But I believe, I'll ask JJ this, Kyle, do you remember, didn't Domas Sabonis also turn his ankle, roll his ankle in warmups and miss a game or two not too long ago when he was here? Do you remember that?
No, nothing that
am I just making
comes
that
to my
up?
mind quickly.
I thought he did. I'll ask JJ that. JJ certainly would know that. We're live at Coaches Tavern. We're downtown. We're looking for you because me, Brent Holverson, Tommy S., when he joins us, we have our Week 7 Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots. You've got NFL Week 7 starting coming up later on tonight featuring New Orleans and Arizona. I really don't know how that's going to be. You look at it right now and you go, wow, these two teams, and they can have some offense, and it may be fun, but you haven't really seen that from either one yet this year, especially Kyler Murray in Arizona. Brent Holverson joins us right now. First things first, how did we do last week?
John, I think you, Nally, and Miller all went 7-6-1. So
right on
the winning side, right? I was off a notch, 6-7-1. So brings the yearly totals to, you're at 48%, I'm at 52%. So we're right there. It was a rough week. I'm trying to track it down. It was a rough week.
That was kind of what I got in geometry. Back my sophomore year, I was hovering around the 48% mark.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, I was right there. I was in the neighborhood.
We're in it.
That's one of the reasons why I think I got punted back to consumer math because of that.
Consumer math.
Yeah, that's how I learned how to write checks at Eastern High School. Okay.
That's what you need to get by, right?
That's what, yeah, especially now when we write so many checks.
Who uses algebra, by the way?
Yeah, well, yeah, never. Anyway, tell me a little bit about what you're thinking regarding this week.
Well, I tell you, I mean, tonight again, pretty not a really sexy game, but it is a little bit for me. DeAndre Hopkins is back. You know what? I think he might bring a little bit of life back there. And you got the Saints tonight. They're without Landry, Thomas, Lattimore, so they're depleted a little bit. I think Dalton is still planning on starting. Right? I haven't heard anything change on that. Yeah, I mean, it was again rough week being a Packer fan, man. Woo. Yeah. Losing to the Jets at home, that was tough.
I think the best thing they did was Lazard grabbing the cheesehead thing.
Knocking it off his head?
Was what Sauce Gardner did such an egregious thing in Green Bay?
Not at all. Somebody threw him a cheesehead.
Lazard got all bent out of shape about it?
You know, he said it was all in good fun, and he walked by and just flipped it off.
He did flip it right off.
I thought it was pretty. I thought it was cool. Not in my house kind of thing, you know.
So this Thursday night, Amazon Prime game, the only thing that we got to make sure that we can do tonight, Brent, will we satisfy with a level of play Al Michaels? Because if he doesn't go satisfied, we may end up losing him here, right?
We've
had back-to-back weeks where he has not been satisfied with the level of play. So do you think that the Saints and the Cardinals will satisfy long-time, elite-level play-by-play man Al Michaels tonight? That's all that matters.
You got to hope so, right? I mean, because he's one of the best, right? And we've got to have him around. He just makes football when you're listening to him. So, you know, and I really think, you know, Arizona's underperformed this year. The Saints, they have as well, but they've kind of been depleted. And I think tonight you're going to get a little bit of, I think you're going to get a little Cardinal action back at home. I think we might see some fireworks. Total set at 43.5, so not looking to be a big shootout, but, you know, you got Kyler Murray's finally got a weapon back there.
How about that?
Yeah. So looking forward to seeing
what DeAndre does. And then, they went out and, you know, they lose Marquise Brown. You know, they had Hopkins there. They've tried various things, but the offense right now just has not been working. I don't know if Robbie Anderson is going to be enough to inspire this offense the way that it's looked.
I don't either.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think it'll be fun to see Hopkins get back on the field.
Got to give it a try right there. Brent Holverson, think about some other games. Yep. We'll bring you back on in a little bit. Tommy S. joins us coming up at the top of the 4 o'clock hour. I've got free samples. I should say Brent has free samples flowing. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, Coaches downtown. We would love to see you downtown here today. And our picture coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Bob Kravitz in the 4 o'clock hour. Mike Chappell on the 5 o'clock hour. But on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, Valley Sports Indiana, he does the pregame, he does the end game, he does the halftime and the postgame. Jeremiah Johnson joins us. Was I remembering effectively that Domas Sabonis also at some point in his Pacers career stepped on something or stepped on somebody or had something happen rolling of the ankles in a warm-up pregame-wise and had to sit?
You thought correctly. I thought maybe it was a couple of years ago, but I did some fact-checking while I heard you talk about that just so I'd be accurate. It was March of 2018, and just to refresh everyone's memory, that was a situation where he had sprained an ankle, and it was the game he was set to come back, and then he retweaked it. So in situations like that, you know, your ankle may not be quite as strong, and maybe if he didn't have that previous injury, he would have been able to walk that one off. But that caused him to miss that game, and I don't know how much more time, but it did bring back memories to what happened to Domantas Sabonis. You don't see it often, but you do see people go up for rebounds or go up for shots and land on ankles. You just don't expect it in shoot-around. A really unfortunate, and as Rick Carlisle said today, unlucky situation for Myles Turner.
So JJ from Bally Sports Indiana on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. That happened at about 5 o'clock yesterday because 33, as 33 will do, dedicated to the team, and his ass is out there earlier than anybody else, before anybody else. That's something that I know. He's out there because he's a major part of this team. Is there any video? Did you guys have anything rolling on that we know about, that we have seen?
I asked someone today, and I got the answer that there wasn't any. It's one of those, sometimes there is video. Those are not real warm-ups necessarily. Those are some individual shooting sessions. And so I think the time that Sabonis had sprained his ankle, we did have video and had to talk with the team. And obviously you don't want to out the ball boy in that situation.
Yeah.
But I don't believe there's any video of this one. I've not seen or heard of any. But the one thing I do think is important to say, and I heard you accurately describe the situation. There's no way this would have happened on purpose. Myles Turner wanted to play in this game. I could tell in talking with him today just how disappointed he was. He had family in town. He'd been working since January to get back on the court and play in an NBA game. There's no way he would not have wanted, to play last night. And the other thing that he said, which was brought up to me last night as well, is that, he had a foot injury, but this is strictly a sprained ankle. It's not related to the previous injury that kept him out. So while unfortunate, it is a little bit of a bump in the road. And if he was out 6 months, 7 months, however long since he last played a regular season game, if you add another week onto it, is not that big a deal. It's just unfortunate the timing because they were looking forward to seeing what he could do with this lineup this season.
Yeah, well, and you can look at it, and I know how you're going to look at it, but there's a section of fans and those that cover this team that kind of, where they are right now, you kind of, at times, hope that you're competitive, but, in the win column, you know what I mean, maybe not. And, had 33 been out there, you get a 7-point loss and you're down by 3 and have a shot at tying it, maybe something's different. So what stood out to you last night as far as good play, higher level of play is concerned, excitable with this particular team, starting with both Halliburton and the rookie Benedict Mathurin and what they showed in game number 1 last night?
Well, the first thing is you can tell the difference between a regular season game and a preseason game. I mean, Washington brought up the intensity level. They were a really physical team, and taking Myles Turner off the court, it made it challenging at times for the Pacers front court. They're already going to have some issues with teams maybe like the Knicks in the regular season and some other teams that are built with a physical front court. And so when you take Myles away, it was difficult. It was that much more challenging to get to the basket and finish. In the preseason, the Pacers had a lot of success in the points in the paint category, both, for them and then defensively. And they didn't have success in either area without Myles Turner, but also with the length that Washington played with in the physicality. But with those two players that you mentioned, you go into a season thinking you're going to spend a lot of time talking about Tyrese Halliburton and Benedict Mathurin. And the good thing is they did nothing to disappoint. Maybe some turnovers, like I said, a little sloppiness, maybe some nervousness from Benedict Mathurin early on. But you saw enough glimpses and flashes and just overall productivity to think that it's going to be fun to watch them grow and develop. And I think even more importantly, grow together. The time they were on the court together, it was fun to watch.
JJ joins us from Bally Sports Indiana. Pacers, again, coming up tomorrow night, actually back-to-back nights, Friday and Saturday night at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, and then off for a 5-game road trip after that. Were you surprised that 16 and 10, respectively, clockwise, is all that Isaiah Jackson and Goga got last night with Myles not being able to play?
It was an interesting decision for Rick Carlisle of once Myles Turner was taken out of the lineup, you have to make a pretty quick decision of who you're going to put into the starting lineup. He acknowledged as much today that it was maybe matchup related, that Kyle Kuzma as Washington's 4. Maybe Terry Taylor was better suited to guard him and run around and chase him, and that may have factored into it. Foul trouble is always a concern with Isaiah Jackson, and so really the entire front court was battling through foul trouble. Jalen Smith was as well. The total minutes, Goga did not surprise me because if not for the injury, I'm not sure whether he would have been in that rotation or not, and so you don't automatically bump him up to a 25-minute per game situation. So it's one of those things. I think even when everyone's healthy, there are going to be some nights maybe it's a Goga night on the bench. Some night maybe you get a little more from Isaiah Jackson. But I do think you're still thinking big picture with Isaiah Jackson. So there are going to be plenty of opportunities for him. And maybe if there's a smaller front court, he really is able to take advantage of his lob game, and and really finish inside. It was a lot more difficult against the Wizards, and so maybe that didn't help him as much with the minutes. But we're going to see different combinations. You're going to see a lot of experimentation. So there are going to be some nights you could always look at the box score when you've got 11 to 12 guys that are going to play or that are capable of playing and say, on this night, this guy didn't play as much, but maybe the next night they'll get that opportunity.
JJ's with us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I tell you what, you knew absolutely and fully the NBA was back last night because of how many times we got to see Scott Foster go to the monitor. I mean, it just felt like home again last night, didn't it? That was awesome.
And my seat is really close to that monitor, so I have to really be careful to be stoic and not provide any expressions for or against whatever calls are made. But there were a few replay reviews, and honestly, there were a couple of times that I thought they could have gone to the monitor when they didn't, when Pacer players were hit in the face or the head. But you'll just have to get used to some of those things. The one thing that we didn't see that I expected to see on opening night, and I'm really surprised, was I don't think we saw any of the take fouls called. And I've seen it around the league happen quite a bit. We didn't see any last night, and I think guys are quickly learning you can't just make a foul to stop a fast break. We'll see them probably in the first couple of weeks, but maybe it'll be something that is just removed from the game. And that's a good thing. But those are also calls that aren't going to be reasons to go to the monitor. If so, that would be a bad change. But I think they have to see it, they have to call it, and be confident with the call. But we didn't see any of those calls last night either.
He ended up with 16 last night. I thought Jalen Smith had a bit of a first-game struggle, and Duarte had some struggles, I thought, when he was on the floor last night, too. You agree?
Yeah, I think that with Duarte, I was really excited going into the season to see if Buddy Hield's on one side of the court and he's on the other and Tyrese Halliburton is finding them. I wanted to see him get some of those open looks, but I just never really felt like he got in any kind of rhythm, especially if you think back to what he was able to do 1 year ago. But, it's one game of 82, and then at the end of the game, maybe he would have had a chance to make some plays late, and he had to leave due to the facial contusion. So I agree with your sentiments, but I'm not going to hit the panic button on Chris Duarte just yet. I did note the improvement during the game from Jalen Smith, because at halftime, and I think he's probably the one individual player that I'm watching most of this season to see how he'll fit in. The first half was not good. He was in a bit of foul trouble, just did not look comfortable, but then really looked like a different player in the second half. So that's a positive sign. And also, you have to acknowledge that he's really been playing alongside Myles Turner most of training camp, really playing the 4, primarily playing the 5. Those are interchangeable at times, but different responsibilities. And when he's the 5 against a team like Washington, there are going to be some ups and downs over the course of the game.
JJ with us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, Bally Sports, Indiana. And how about the gang's going back on the road coming up after this weekend? Right? The whole gang is going back again. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, first road trip for me since March of 2020. The last game I broadcast on the road in person was at Dallas. It was the end of a long road trip, and I can remember towards the end of that trip getting my temperature taken quite a bit and being told maybe I shouldn't go out to dinner, and here we are in the fall of 2022, and I tell you what, I'm looking forward to it. I know my family's still getting used to coming to grips with the fact that I'm going to hit the road on Sunday and be gone for 9 days, but it's so much better and easier, and just it's the way to do the job is to be in person. So I'm glad that we are allowed to go back on the road and that we have the support of the team and also the network to do so. So Chris and Quinn and I will be on the road, and that'll be an interesting 5-game road trip that starts in Philadelphia on Monday.
Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to think here. Philly, I know Chicago's a part of it. Brooklyn a couple of times. Who else am I missing?
And then another game against Washington. So it's all Eastern Conference, but it'll be Philly, Chicago, Washington, and then end with 2 games against the Nets at Barclays Center, including the last one on Halloween night. So I'm told next week it's supposed to get a little bit warmer than it's been, so maybe some of these cold weather cities won't be quite as chilly. But either way, it will be great to be on the road, and I think we can kind of get to know some of these young players just a little bit better, see some chemistry start to form, and hopefully give everyone solid broadcast for that 5-game trip.
So Jeremiah Johnson, Bally Sports, Indiana. He's a part of the group. He and Chris and Quinn and Eddie and the gang did a great job last night of firing that bad boy up here for the first time this season. Pacers lose 114-107. And they'll go at it coming up again tomorrow night and Saturday night right here downtown at Cambridge Fieldhouse. JJ, I appreciate you hopping on here as well. And with that Sabonis knowledge, because it did occur to me, actually, I was talking to your colleague, Chris Denary, on my way in, and we both came to the conclusion that, yeah, that's what happened to Sabonis as well before one game.
It definitely happened. I just don't know how often it happens elsewhere around the league. But to happen to two different Pacer big men in the last 4 to 5 years, probably more than average, but not unheard of. And so when you heard it happen last night, it was just like, really? Are you serious? And then the good news, though, today is that it's not going to be a long absence, and we can look forward, hopefully, to seeing him very soon.
Didn't sound like that Rick knew last night initially, did he?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. He's got meetings. He has different places to go. And the players, it's not a team workout that he was injured in, so perhaps he had not even seen anyone at that point. And I was in the press room when he was asked about it, and it took us all by surprise because we weren't out on the court. We had our broadcast meeting prior to that press conference. So, yeah, it looked to me like it was news to him at the time, but it had obviously just happened.
All right, JJ, I appreciate you, man. Great job as always. We'll do it again next week.
All right. Thank you, John.
It's Jeremiah Johnson, Valley Sports Indiana, with us via the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Pacers lose 114-107 last night. Getting San Antonio coming up tomorrow, I believe. Hey, who's in here on Saturday? I don't have that in front of me right now. I probably should. But I know they start out the season with 3 straight on the road, or I should say 3 straight at home, and then go out for 5 on the road. So we got, what am I looking at here, fellas? I got San Antonio, Detroit. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, the Jaden Ivey game when he was here. That's the one I forgot about right there. And then, as I mentioned with JJ, Philadelphia, Chicago, Washington, and then Brooklyn a couple of times as well. Before they get back home, we're downtown at Coaches Tavern. Tommy S. is with us. Brent Holverson's going to rejoin in a second inside the lounge via YouTube Live. I see you guys working there as well. Cam's the on-site engineer. Back in the studio is Kyle Udemark. Week 7 of our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Here they are before me right now. We'll get to that. Bob Kravitz, 4 o'clock hour. Mike Chappell, 5 o'clock hour. Tomorrow's show on the road on the northeast side. I'll tell you where. And then if you stop here like my man Billy Bowman's in the house. It is Free Sample Thursday. Free Sample Thursday here at Coaches Tavern. We'd love to see you. Brent rejoins. Tommy S. is going to be here. Locks and shots coming up at the top of the hour, 4 o'clock on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
It's time for tip-off with basketball in the Bet Rivers Sportsbook app. Bet same-game parlays where you can combine different bets from the same game for even bigger payouts and more action on the hardwood. Bets like live player props, spreads, totals, and more. Add our award-winning customer service, and it's nothing but net. Bet Rivers Sportsbook app and basketball. It's a whole new game.
Must be 21 plus. Available in Indiana only. Void where prohibited. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, it's Mark from Kevin and Query, and one of the things I love about betting on the NFL is I'm always finding new player or game props that I like. And what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook is you can combine these props with other bets from the same game to score an even bigger payout. You've heard me talk about it before. It's called the Same Game Parlay, and it's one of the many reasons I love betting on FanDuel, and it's perfect for tonight's Monday night game between the Broncos and Chargers. Give me the Chargers all day on the money line, Justin Herbert over in passing yards, and Austin Eckler to score not 1 but 2 touchdowns in the game. There's no feeling like nailing a Same Game Parlay bet, so lock in your bet today on FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in free bets, win or lose, as long as you sign up with promo code MARC, M-A-R-C. While you're there, check out the everyday odds boosts and specials they have. The app is safe, secure, and easy to use, and when you win, you get paid quick. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 and over and present in Indiana. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
A new season. A new QB. A new look. Football is back. And so are Bud Light Blue Fridays. Every week, join JMV beginning at 3 for Cold Bud Lights, Colts football talk, and your chance to win tickets to Colts games.
Join me, JMV, this Friday at Ale Emporium North for your chance at Commanders tickets.
JMV, Bud Light, and you. Doing it for the shoe.
I'll see you this Friday at the Ale Emporium North.
It's the final month to get a free furnace from Peterman Brothers. Hi, I'm Chad Peterman.
And I'm Tyler Peterman. During the month of October, if you install a qualifying AC system with us, as an added bonus, we'll include a brand new furnace for free.
That's right, Indiana. The furnace is free.
Get your home ready for winter before the cold sets in.
Visit yourfreefurnace.com to claim your free furnace today.
Peterman Brothers, where great service runs in the family.
2022 is the year for that diamond upgrade. Time to go from a 1 carat to a 2 carat, or a 2 carat up to a 4 or 5 carat. It's true, going bigger is in. But that doesn't mean you have to overpay or compromise on quality. Diamonds Direct is your best destination for large, unique, and rare diamonds. These are exquisite, hand-picked precious diamonds from 2 carats to 20 carats, in all shapes, independently graded by the GIA. These diamonds have all been chosen for maximum brilliance. Best part, Diamonds Direct's stunning large diamonds are sourced from the best ethical diamond cutters around the globe, purchased exclusively for our showroom, and free from any broker or middleman upcharges. This means you can go bigger with the confidence that you're getting the highest quality at the best possible price nationwide. You see, at Diamonds Direct, we're more than just another jewelry store. We're the nation's true diamond experts with unrivaled selection, uncompromising standards, and unbeatable value. Let us prove it today with your diamond upgrade. Diamonds Direct. Get directions, showroom hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
JMV here for my guys John and Chris Love at Love Heating and Air Conditioning. The cold weather is here, and you need to make sure your furnace is tuned up and safe and efficient for the winter months ahead. So right now, get the recommended service from Love Heating and Air Conditioning, and the Love family will waive the $95 trip and diagnostic fee. These are the guys that I trust with my home. I love the guys at Love, and you will too. Love Heating and Air Conditioning, 317-754-0754. That's 317-754-0754. Online, love-hvac.com today. Tell them JMV sent you. Hey, it's JMV for the absolute best in plumbing. That's Lance and his local team at LD Smith Plumbing. 317-284-9526. Let's talk about 83 of free involving any drain in your home. Means LD Smith is going to come out, make sure your drains are clog free for $83, or the visit is free. That's 83 of free at 317-284-9526. The best in plumbing, Lance and his local team online, ldsmithplumbing.com.
Every 6 minutes, a utility line is damaged by reckless digging. So Indiana relies on 811 superheroes like Steve the plumber.
I contact 811 before I do my work.
Mary the gardener.
Before I plant a tree, I contact 811.
And Mike the landscaper.
I dig for a living, but always contact 811.
Prevent damages or injury. Call 811 or go online, indiana811.org.
Sponsored by the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission, this station, and the Indiana Broadcasters Association.
Sometimes an injury or death happens due to someone else's mistake. Find justice with the injury attorneys at Parr Ritchie at 317-269-2509. PARRinjury.com.
The last time the Colts and Titans met, it didn't go so well.
Tennessee 24, the Colts 17.
But things are looking up in the Colts' quest for the AFC South playoffs.
Looking for Alec Pierce. He's got it. Touchdown.
And our boys in blue hit 65 south to Nashville to keep it going against the Tennessee Titans. It all starts Sunday at 10 with the pregame. Matt Taylor with the kickoff at 1 o'clock on your home for Colts football. 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Nachos, lemon heads, my dad's boat. You won't go down.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
And this is The Clash, everybody. Train in Vain, I think, is right at the top of the list of my favorites from The Clash. Cam's the on-site engineer. Kyle Udemark's back at the studio. I love Jeremiah Wheatley. I have to absolutely disagree. I don't know about other shows because I don't really care. I just care about this one. Local sports radio is going to ruin the excitement of the fun this young and talented Pacer team has. Let me stop you right there. No, this local radio show is going to make sure you truly understand the reality and you're able to embrace the moments that are embraceable, because there's going to be a whole lot of suckage going on. All right, a whole lot. I just want to make sure that you're level-headed and with what you're dealing with. There's nothing like trying to drive people away. If I was trying to drive people away, I'd say, hey, JJ, don't even come on here. Hey, look at Miles. Hey, I'm supporting Miles, and I'm the only one doing it. How many jackasses I saw last night? Get him out of here. He doesn't want to play. Get him out of here. I mean, come on. He'll get back, and this team is still going to do what everybody, including the Pacers, believe this team is going to do and not be very good and be in the running for, well, I don't know if it's going to end up being Wembanyama, but, as they say, I guess we'll find out. This is going to be a good draft for high-level players even beyond that first pick. And here's where the Pacers have to really do. It's unique to them, right? I mean, they're going to have to be able to talk about the excitement and sell their product when they know and we know that most of the nights are going to end up just like that. Just like that. So no, it's not local sports. Certainly, I don't know what you're listening to, but it's sure as hell not this. As if the fan base isn't already struggling to maintain viewership. Well, I mean, that's going to happen. That is going to happen. But again, that's something you're going to have to deal with. If we were really intent on hurting the enthusiasm of the product, you know what we would do? We wouldn't talk about it. We wouldn't bring it up. I wouldn't mention it. Because we're in the heart of the NFL season right now. Get the biggest game of the year coming up on Sunday. I'm on a Thursday in Week 7. Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots coming up here at the top of the hour. If we were truly out to get them and to temper the enthusiasm of anybody to start the NBA season, we just wouldn't talk about them. Or I know that's what I would do, because that is a sign of you're not really caring about it, or you feel your audience doesn't care. But I love basketball, and you guys know that, and I love high-level basketball. And even though this Pacer team is not going to be that this season, we shall still talk about it. I mean, when you think about last night, outside of the Miles stepping on the ball boy's foot, I mean, you had some debatable points about playing time for bigs, Isaiah Jackson being one with Miles out. I mean, you can look at a lot of different things, but it's not like we're going to stop talking about it. And if we stop talking about it, that's what would equate to ruining the enthusiasm, because then it's not there and then nobody really cares. Apathy sets in, and then you have a real problem, and that's exactly the issues that the Pacers are trying to guard against right now, without question. All right, Coaches Tavern, we're downtown. Brent Holverson is here too. Tommy S. is in the house. We got Week 7 coming up as well. Anything stand out besides that Packer date you talked about a little bit earlier on this Thursday night or on Amazon Prime?
Well, again, speaking back to last week, we had a lot of crazy games, right? Just crazy upsets. A lot of road favorites that got beat outright. We're seeing a little switch in what's happening here in the NFL. This week's probably not going to be a lot different, but we got some good games coming up. I think that Colts-Tennessee game is just monumental. It's going to be such a big game there. So, I think we got a good slate of games. And, Tommy, your Vikings are looking pretty good, my friends.
How about that? You're just marching on to an NFC possible crown, aren't you? That's what you're feeling right now.
This NFL season's gone just as we planned it, right?
Exactly.
Everybody had the Giants, the Vikings at 5-1.
Sure.
We had Tampa at 3-3. Sure thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you this is what you also have when you have a game-breaking, talented wide receiver. You can start right there. I mean, everybody's game plan defensively is just going to soak up and going to be the focus. That's going to be Justin Jefferson. Man, it starts right there. It really does. When you have one of those dudes that is so big, I've been trying to preach that around here forever, but that is so big.
And, if they cover him up, they got Adam Thielen to throw the ball to.
Yeah.
So they got plenty of weapons.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
They got a bye week this week, too, so they got a good chance to get even healthier than they are, which is good.
Tommy S. can take the weekend off with the Vikings having a bye week as well. All right, some other things you mentioned. Green Bay, -5 on the road at Washington. Washington's got to go with, Taylor Heineke now, I think, because Wentz is going to be out for an extended period of time.
Rodgers has a thumb injury. If you watch that game or not, I mean, you could definitely see it was affecting him. And he didn't practice yesterday. I haven't seen today if he has or not. Didn't see any designation on him being, ruling toward getting out. He's going to play, but that's big because he doesn't have anybody to throw the ball to. So
5-point favorite right there too, man. That's some points right there for a team offensively was struggling anyway.
Absolutely.
Looked like Aaron was struggling. He was underthrowing a lot of receivers last
week. A lot of them.
You can tell it was his thumb bothering him.
He kept doing that little thumb shake too. Yeah, but. I don't know. The only game that really I think is going to be a great game, just in looking at him, is that KC-San Fran game. That's the only, each week we have a couple monumental games. this is kind of it. I don't really see anything else on there that really stands out.
I constantly have these visions, and sometimes they're inaccurate. But I constantly have these visions of what a game that really stands out to me. And this, because we've been talking so much about, Kansas City being good, but, obviously losing to Buffalo, but still the offense being really good and the offense not missing Tyreek Hill, although I would disagree with that that sentiment. Then you had San Francisco last week, really not looking good against Atlanta. This just seems to me like one of those games where the 49er defense is going to step up against what is a tall order, the Chiefs offense coming up on Sunday. That's kind of what my initial thought is. All right, that's what you're going to see on Sunday.
I thought that as well, but then I also think, Mahomes, what's he do after a loss, right? They come back out and they come back and play stronger than they were. So, you're going to have, again, I think that's why it's probably the best-looking game on the slate that we have for Week 7.
Yeah. Brent Holverson, Tommy S. here with us. Tommy, what do we got as far as deals and greatness and such? I know Brent's got the free samples flowing here. What do we got?
The free samples, got larceny, got some Elijah Craig, got some barrel proof.
Nice.
Might have some toasted barrel back
there,
too.
We got some toasted barrel in the house. Are you kidding me here?
Yeah, we got larceny back there.
Toasted barrel in the house. When dudes deliver stuff handwritten on napkins, it's important. Tommy S. is just elated. Minnesota is atop the NFC North. We always will tell you, anybody that delivers anything that's handwritten on a napkin.
That's important.
It's very, very important. What kind of food we got working, too?
Tell you what, we just made some fresh prime rib for our Philly.
No, you didn't. Prime ribs in the house?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Shave it right off, put it on a bun.
Wait a minute.
Got some hot wings.
I think I may have just been aroused. Prime ribs right in my wheelhouse. Hold on a second. Did you guys see that on YouTube Live? I think there was some arousal right here. How often do you do the prime rib?
About 3 times a week.
Wait a minute.
We fly through it, so.
Prime rib in the house. That sounds good. All right, what are we going to do beverage wise? Just stand by.
You've got your personal.
I'm
favorite,
in the house
right?
with it. Yeah,
Larceny ginger ale.
Yep.
I've got a little Evan peach and nice tea here. Just my nice little day drink. I think we're going to probably nestle into a couple Lunazol shots.
Yes,
as we get into
I think
the
that's
segment.
A good call right there.
And Tommy's got a good selection back there of everything. So if you're out and about, please stop in and see us. Let me get you a sample. How about that?
I've got my shot of the week, fantasy football-wise. I was a winner of this. By the way, I dispatched of the defending champion, Pam Brown, in a big way. Did you see?
I did.
I went, what do they say, ham? I went ham in fantasy football on our defending champion. All over Pam Brown this weekend. My wide receiver stepped up. Now, the problem I want to have, I say it, and now it's going to turn around and I'll suck this weekend. But, man, I was big time over our defending champion this weekend. Now I'm even on the season, and I'm ready to step up and take off from here. It's what the Colts hope for on Sunday. They hope that they play off of that Jacksonville game and take off coming up on Sunday. Same thing for me.
Oh, absolutely. You got Kyle right in your sights, too.
I'm right there.
Game ahead of you.
I'm right there.
You've got him on poise, I just saw, so it's watch out, Kyle.
The problem I'm going to have is we're going to start having bye weeks, and then we all know that my bench is pretty much non-existent, and it's just rotten full of wide receivers, by the way, so.
You got to make a little change. You got Singletary lined up to play.
I know. I got to make that. I got to make that change. But you can see my shot of the week. Did I pick up my shot of the week? Here, let me see here.
Kenyon Drake.
Well, they're just maybe my shot of the week with the Ravens. Maybe Kenyon Drake because the J.K. Dobbins situation. The guy that's been there and done that, that put up numbers before. Makes you kind of wonder if that's going to be my shot of the week.
He's that guy that you just don't know, right? You're going to shift on a dime, but I think that's a great call right there. That's a really stellar pick.
All right, that's Brent. That's Tommy S. I'm John. I want to come back. We'll do some calls if you guys want to at 239-1070 regarding last night's Pacer game. If you want to hit on Miles, you can. If you want to talk junk to me, you can. Whatever you want to do, and we'll dive into the Colts Week 7 matchup, which is absolutely a must, a mammoth game down in Nashville coming up on Sunday. We'll talk about that with you. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, top of the hour. Kravitz of the Athletic here in the 4 o'clock hour. Chappell on the 5 o'clock hour. We are just getting started. We're downtown at Coaches Tavern. Join us. The free samples are a-flowing. And as Tommy S. suggested, the prime rib is prime right here. So come check it out. The prime rib's ready to go. Coach's Tavern downtown. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
Helzberg Diamonds presents The Guy Who Did His Homework. When it came to Jill's engagement ring, Brady knew exactly what to get.
Okay, so I came up with a design and showed it to all of our friends.
She'll love it.
Then he went to Helzberg. Their incredible selection of high-quality, lab-grown, and natural diamonds made creating that special ring easy. Her reaction?
I love it. Can't wait to tell everybody.
Everybody might know about it.
Be like Brady. Create the ring of your dreams at a Helzberg near you or at Helzberg.com. Ask now about special financing offers.
Hey, Sean here for Heaven Hill Distillery. When I do one of these, I always have to have one in my hand right here, a little Larceny Bourbon, right? Under that Heaven Hill Distillery umbrella, every Thursday, our Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, right here. If you're watching on YouTube Live, actually, we're in a commercial right now, so maybe you're not. But that's what we do. The free samples flow, and our picks for week number 7 of the NFL, they are a flowing as well. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, coming up at the top of the hour. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
Don't you love fall in Indy, but you hate the paint? Well, do what your neighbor Mark did. He called Rhino Shield.
It's a 2-story home built in 1992. Around 2001, looking at needing to paint, I heard a radio ad, with Rhino Shield, you won't have to paint again for another 25 years.
That's because Rhino Shield's not paint. It's better.
They're very professional. We had everything done. Everything that would typically be painted on a house was done, and it was very fast.
All right, Indy, get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price.
It was done in 2001 and still going strong. From what I've seen on our home, they can easily offer a 25-year guarantee and not worry about it.
Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Don't paint. Don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Football fans can turn a loss into a win with the king of sportsbooks. Just place a single first touchdown score prop bet on any Monday or Thursday pro football game. If your bet loses, you'll receive up to $25 back in free bets. This offer is available all season long. Wager confidently and take your game to the next level with BetMGM. Just log into your account or download the BetMGM app and sign up today. Turn game time into showtime with the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Indiana only. New and existing customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, it's JMV here. If you're thinking about replacing your old water softener, heck to the yes. That is a good time to do it right now. Go with the best in Connecticut. Joe and John, they have you covered here. How about $1,000 off for Premier Series water softener? $1,000 off, and then up to $500 off a K5 in-home drinking water station. We're talking serious savings with the absolute best. You probably saw it last night if you were watching the Pacers, right? Denary and their home and their dogs love Connecticut. Everybody loves Connecticut. If you don't have it, take advantage of these great deals right now at the 2 Indy area locations. Northeast side Castleton, south side US 31 and Southport Road, that Connecticut Water app. Download that to your smartphone or device today or online, ConnecticutIndy.com.
Can I get the sales projections for the Springfield, Bristol, and Fairview stores?
Val's Froyo Palace is dishing out 3 more locations.
Jody, have you lined up interviews?
They need 3 new store managers before they have a meltdown.
And remember, they need at least 5 years experience.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Denny Smith here for Sundown Gardens. The big fall sale has been extended through Sunday, October 23rd, and that means 20 to 50% off all nursery stock, 50% off pottery, and 20% off Miss Mary's fall decor. Sundown Gardens still has a great selection of nursery stock, and fall's a great time to plant. Visit Sundown to find the best plant selections to help bring fall color to your home. Don't forget the Kids Zone for tons of fun every Saturday through October 30th. It's at 186th Street and Spring Mill Road, sundown.gardens.com.
BullseyeEventGroup.com. It is the Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Hey, your pass is good to go right now. The Commanders in town a week from Sunday. All you can eat, all you can drink is going to be a fantastic time at the Bullseye Event Center. Get your passes right now. Then, right on, you've got that Vegas get-together, right? Coming up. Go ahead and get those passes for November. It's a stay at Caesars. It's a flight to and from, a Vegas VIP tailgate, and then tickets to the game. You know what? Now that I'm doing right now our Bullseye Event Group. Hey, Kyle, let's give a pair away to somebody that may be going to Nashville coming up on Sunday. You can invade the Titans tailgate. If anybody is thinking about going, how about a pair of passes for the tailgate where you can invade the Titans tailgate on Sunday down in Nashville? Number 9 at 239-1070 is going to go. Meantime, passes for next week, passes in November to go with us to Las Vegas. Just log on right now, BullseyeEventGroup.com.
Join us this Monday at Buffalo Wild Wings in Castleton for Bud Light Blue Monday. Drink ice cold Bud Light and sign up for your chance to win Colts tickets as JMV broadcasts live. Bud Light, brewed for the Colts and their fans.
The Colts head to Tennessee to face the division rival Titans. Coverage Sunday morning at 10 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man. It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Coaches downtown. Tommy S., Brent Holverson. I'm John. Inside the lounge via YouTube Live. Shout out to Jennifer there. Jennifer's like holding down things inside the lounge via YouTube Live. All right, 239-1070. Before we hit the top of the hour in our Week 7 picks, give me Stefan, would you please, Kyle, at 239-1070. Hello, Stefan. How are you?
I'm doing great, Jay. So, look, man, my thing is this, man. It was one game. It's the first game of the season. Myles goes down. That was a freak accident. And then, of course, all the Myles haters are coming out the woodwork.
Yes, they are.
From looking what was going on, it looks like Myles has a way bigger role in the offense this year than he has ever. And we needed him because it turned into a layup line, and we kept falling behind by 12. His defense is necessary for us to sustain so we don't fall behind. Like, we really need Myles.
Hey, Stefan, man, that's been the case, and you're absolutely right. And that's where you hope that somebody from this young group steps up and becomes, a much better defensive player that we don't see right now. But this has been an issue even when you didn't have the youth movement that they're going through right now, and you saw that last night. It was an issue once again. I completely agree as far as, having the need for somebody like that on the interior. Completely agree.
And what the fact is, like, everybody's on Duarte. The fact of the matter is this. If Duarte had Myles Turner, Duarte doesn't have to do as much as he was basically being forced into have to doing if Myles was on the court. Everybody forgets how much Myles takes off of every player on that team with that defensive presence. And it's
let me tell you.
Because it's like it literally makes me want to pull my hair out because it's like you guys really don't understand what today's game is.
And people, Stefan, and thank you for the call. I got to hit the top of the hour break. People around here really haven't liked him in a long time, and they're never going to like him, and that's never going to change. And last night was a punchline for everybody. Wasn't a punchline for me because I want to see the dude play with this group and see what you got. And whether or not he's going to be a part of this team moving forward, even after February, you still, as a Pacer fan, I mean, even if you're dead set against wanting to ever watch Myles again, do you want the team to benefit from a deal? I mean, what kind of jackassery are you dealing with here? You don't want to see the dude injured. You don't want to see the dude play bad. You're not going to trade him for anything. We're going to trade him for whatever right now. Stop the jackassery. If you want this team to play better, he is going to be a part of it, whether he is here playing or he's someplace else, and then you're getting in a trade something for him. Got to keep that in mind. Our Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, Tommy S. and Brent Holverson, live from Coaches Downtown. Next.
Introducing Spectrum One. Get Spectrum Internet with speeds of 300 megabits per second, advanced Wi-Fi with best-in-class security and privacy, Spectrum Mobile with unlimited talk, text, and data plus nationwide 5G. Get it all with Spectrum One. Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and one line of Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for only $49.99 a month. Visit Spectrum.com or a Spectrum store today. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Hockey's even more exciting with the BetRivers Sportsbook app. Score big with same-game parlays where you can combine different bets from the same game, like the money line, check, puck line, check, and player props, check. Plus, with award-winning customer service, you'll never miss a shift. Download the BetRivers Sportsbook app on iOS and Android. It's a whole new game.
Must be 21 plus. Available in Indiana only. Void where prohibited. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
You can't get much for $5 these days, unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT, plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink, all for just $5. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're gonna feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
CarX, 14 Central Indiana locations. I just want to set you up, make sure your wheels are fall road ready, and continue that way. Hey, let my friend Joe Childers, again, get you in there for brakes, brake pads, as well as tires, as well as anything mechanically speaking, all the way down to making sure that you get those consistent oil changes. Hey, the truck right now just surpassed 297,000 miles. You know how much of that is due to the consistent maintenance that CarX provides? Yes, all of it right there. So check them out today. The 14 Central Indiana locations of CarX. You can find the one nearest you. CarX.com today.
Hey, it's Big Joe, and Ryan Kelly is the home loan expert, which is why he's the man I called to refinance my mortgage, and it started with a phone call to 317-550-1515. Now, one of the benefits of going with you, Ryan, is you consistently get rates that competitors can't touch. Is that one of the benefits of being a mortgage lender and not a broker?
Absolutely. You better believe it. We cut out all the middlemen. We keep it all in-house. We process, underwrite, close your file in-house. We have loan programs for about anyone out there that's thinking about buying a home. We want to talk to you. But we get rid of all that extra cost. You know, the big fancy buildings, the board, the shareholders. There's none of that at the Home Loan Expert. We pass those lower rates to our clients. In fact, our rates on mortgages are over a quarter point lower than the national average. That says it all right there. Get the rate that you deserve today, whether you're thinking about a refinance or purchase. We can answer all those questions and go over it today. Visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
A new season, a new QB, a new look. Football is back. And so are Bud Light Blue Fridays. Every week, join JMV beginning at 3 for cold Bud Lights, Colts football talk, and your chance to win tickets to Colts games.
Join me, JMV, this Friday at Ale Emporium North for your chance at Commanders tickets.
JMV, Bud Light, and you. Doing it for the shoe.
I'll see you this Friday at the Ale Emporium North.
Everyone here knows Diamonds Direct is the place to go for the best diamonds at the best prices. But did you know that savvy buyers from all over America, even Los Angeles and New York, now come here to buy their diamonds? These high-end shoppers have discovered that Diamonds Direct has one of America's best selections of large, rare diamonds, from 3 carats to 20 carats, all certified by the GIA, the most reputable and most trusted gem lab in the world. Because of Diamonds Direct's international connections and tremendous buying power, we're one of only a handful of jewelry stores in America that is able to offer a large selection of rare and precious GIA diamonds. In fact, Diamonds Direct's multi-million-dollar selection includes a stunning array of high-end Riviera necklaces, 20-carat tennis bracelets, and an extraordinary collection of rare, precious gemstones, rubies, sapphires, emeralds, and even the really hard-to-find fancy yellow diamonds. Come see why Diamonds Direct right here is the destination for high-end shoppers all over America. Extraordinary selection, quality, and unmatched value. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. DiamondsDirect.com.
Dan Dockage for Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone therapy. They've got me on a testosterone program. Got to tell you, I feel amazing. Get started at feelgreatindy.com. That's feelgreatindy.com.
If you're serious about selling your home, call Mark Dietel and his team today at 317-755-4232 or online markdietel.com. That's Mark, Dietel.com today.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
Friday on Kevin and Query, it is a huge one in Nashville. We're breaking that down for you and setting you up with a couple of Pacers games this weekend. Join us 7 a.m. right here on The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
Bullish Brent's hanging and banging with you until the 8 o'clock hour. Coming up, we have artists such as Living Color and the Fine Young Cannibals right now. Here's Roxette, The Look, 89.9 WROL.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
Oh, you son of a guns. I'm so glad you're here. We're at Coaches downtown. I'm just impressing a Jets fan in here with my old school knowledge of the Jets. I brought up Freeman McNeil and Wesley Walker. I brought up Johnny Lamb Jones. I brought up the fact that back in the 90s at some point, I don't think it was always good, but Mark Gastineau lived in Bedford, Indiana. Did anybody know that? Mark Gastineau lived in Bedford, Indiana. I don't know how long it was, but it was for a minute. Joe Colecco. What is it? Salam? They had the sack exchange back in the early 80s, too. Little Jets trivia. Why? Because the Jets have been playing so incredibly well here recently. I know I'm going to start to sound like Mike Greenberg, and I don't mean to do that. My bad right here. Coaches downtown. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, week number 7 in the NFL. Hey, Pacers last night lose to Washington. They get San Antonio coming up tomorrow night, the first of a back-to-back Friday and Saturday, with Jaden Ivey and Detroit coming in on Saturday night as well, and then 5 straight on the road after that. Myles Turner news today, rolled his foot, stepped on the foot of a ball boy around about 5 o'clock or so yesterday. My man's getting out there early, working hard, honing the craft, and unfortunately this freak accident with a ball boy happens. So he not only missed last night and the opener, but he's going to miss at least a week, and we'll see if he comes back while they're on this particular trip or if he doesn't come back until they're back home anyway. So that's the latest right there. Got college football coming up this weekend. You got the Yankees and the Astros coming up again later on tonight. That is game 2 of the ALCS with Justin Verlander striking out 11 last night, if you were watching that game as well, and a couple of timely Astros-esque home runs that happened, and they're staked to a 1-zip best of 7 advantage right there over the Yankees. Game 2 coming up later on tonight, and Game 3, tied at a game apiece, is going to change venues to Philadelphia with the Padres and the Phillies coming up tomorrow night. All right, fellas, ready for our Week 7 Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots? Anything stand out to you? Anything you want to say before we fully dive in and I can improve on my 48% that I got working right here? 48%.
Hey, like you said,
better than my geometry grade.
That's right.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So you got to start there. Looking forward to it. I think we're going to have a good bounce back week. I think this is the week that we're going to see some good stuff coming around the corner. So all about it. Let's get him started.
Tommy S., would you like to add anything before we start?
A lot of big spreads this week.
Big spreads this week.
A lot of big spreads.
All right, Kyle. I think we've had enough right there. Let's do it. Cue the band. Our week number 7. Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots starts in Glendale, Arizona later on tonight on Amazon Prime. We got our fingers crossed, and we hope that offensively this game lives up to the expectations of longtime elite-level broadcaster Al Michaels. That's all that matters. Amazon Prime tonight, 2.5-point favorites, Arizona at home. Circle the Cardinals. They're going to get up off the offensive mat, put something together against New Orleans tonight. I'm taking the Cardinals at home, Brent Holverson.
I love it, John. I love it. I'm going to go ahead and start this week off right. This is going to be my double shot, right? I'm going to Larceny Lock,
you're
shot.
locking
It's all coming in here.
Yes.
Kick us off Thursday. Arizona Cardinals big tonight. And Lunazul shot, which most teams had them.
You're getting them both out of the way in this first game?
Out of the way. Most teams had them stashed away. Some people did. DeAndre Hopkins, big game. He's coming back with a vengeance today. There's your Lunazul tequila shot of the week.
Not even Robbie. Is Robbie Anderson playing tonight?
He is. I think he's going to play, yes.
He just doesn't know the plays yet.
He doesn't know the plays yet.
He's going to run around
in
the backyard. He's going to run around.
He's just a mean guy. He's going to. Yeah, that's all you got to do. Go throw the ball, go get. He's got speed. But I'll tell you what, Arizona Cardinals, big time fashion tonight. Lock him up, larceny lock.
Tommy S. has got the prime rib rocking tonight for this game. What do you got, buddy?
I'm right with you guys. I mean, New Orleans is kind of beat up. They're missing a lot of guys. Andy Dalton's not the guy. And DeAndre Hopkins going to give Arizona's offense new life.
Lattimore's out for the big cornerback. Yeah. He's out for the Saints as well.
I think you're right. I think Hopkins going to have a huge game tonight, and Arizona's going to roll.
Tommy S., prime rib of this Thursday night would be Kyler Murray in Arizona right there. 1 o'clock to start coming up on Sunday. How about Atlanta? Atlanta has been sneaky good so far. Nobody's paying attention. Their quarterback's Marcus Mariota. Really nobody cares, but hello to the Atlanta Falcons playing pretty good football so far compared to what we thought. They are 6.5-point underdogs on the road at Cincinnati. Cincinnati hasn't lived up to the expectations. You could say maybe last week down in New Orleans they did because they finally got things going with Jamar Chase a little bit there because it's not been the case for Chase in the past couple of weeks. It was in New Orleans. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take that 6.5 points. I'm going to take the Falcons on the road in Cincy on Sunday.
Not a bad decision, John, because they're 6-0 against the spread.
Love it.
They have covered every week, which is crazy.
It's like the Detroit Lions that we used to embrace.
It is. It absolutely is. But the Atlanta Falcons are 6-0 against the spread. They're 3-3 straight up. But that 6.5 number makes me want to go with the Cincinnati Bengals to win the game by 7. They cover that 6.5. Give me the Bengals, John, to give the Atlanta Falcons their first against the spread loss of the year because it has to switch at some point.
All right, you're going to have to. We both are going opposite here. See where you go.
I mean, which Atlanta team is going to show up on Sunday? You don't know. The one that beat the 49ers, the one that got beat by, I think, was it Seattle that beat them? Not Seattle's not bad, but anyway. I think Cincinnati, they got to wake up. They're going to get out of the slump eventually, right? They have to.
I'm on the island right there. 1 o'clock to start on Sunday in Dallas. The Lions and the Cowboys. Cowboys are 7-point favorites. I have increasingly become, under the urging of watching, I guess, untrustworthy of the Lions. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 7 points in this case. I'm going to take the Cowboys at home.
Yeah, I
think the Lions anymore.
I think you're going to. I don't either. I mean, yeah. we rode them hard last year. We've ridden them pretty hard,
and we put them
so
away
far.
wet. Yes.
We did put them away wet. They're 3-2 against the spread. They're 1-4 win-loss record. Dallas has got a little life coming back. I think Dallas wins this game 31-21. I'll take Dallas to cover the 7.
What do you got, Tommy?
I like Dallas. Dak coming back.
Green Bay and Washington. The Commanders got to go with Taylor Heineke, the backup quarterback, because Carson Wentz is out for a number of weeks now, including next week with the Commanders in town here against the Colts. The Packers haven't looked good, man. A sweep by the New York teams, losing to the Jets at home. Sauce Gardner rocking a cheesehead hat, and Alan Lazard knocked it off his head. You've got all types of stuff, including either a hand or a thumb or some craps going on with Aaron Rodgers right now. Alas, I'm going to go ahead on the road, the favorites of the Packers. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 5 and take the Packers in Washington. The Beltway coming up on Sunday, Brent.
John, there's all kinds of troubles going on with Green Bay right now, and Rodgers' thumb just adds to it, right? Sammy Watkins is coming back. He's going to be out there. Rodgers needs as much help as he can get. Lazard can't do it all. He has got not much from Romeo Doubs like I was hoping he would. Bobby Tonyan's looked great, but I'll tell you what.
Bobby Tonyan of Indiana State University.
Yeah, your boy, right? Fellow Sycamore. I'm going to go against the grain here. Give me the Washington Commanders +5 at home against the Packers.
That's beautiful.
I hope for the Green Bay win.
Are you doing
by
that?
3?
You're doing the George Costanza opposite thing here?
Yeah. It's a home team, home dog. Packers look horrible. They've looked horrible all year. I mean, there's no offense whatsoever. You got a dinged-up Rodgers. You got the dinged-up. We got no receivers. We got a running game that's just, I don't know. That Washington team, they look a little bit better than with that 5 points. I'm going to take Washington +5, Johnny.
I have no job, and I live at home with my parents. George Costanza. He's taking the opposite right now. Tommy S., what do you got?
I'm agree with Harvey. I think Green Bay is going to win the game, but I'm taking Washington those 5.
Listen, Tampa Bay, I think that there's going to be inspiration in Tom Brady's dressing down of his offensive line last week. But, man, 11 is such a big number. But Carolina's going to start a quarterback, P.J. Walker, and there's a great deal of substitute going on right there, all right? So we've seen it. We know where they are. We know the direction in which they're going. So I'm going to go against better judgment right here. I'm going to lay the 11 and take Tampa Bay on the road with a little bit of offensive line inspiration from the old man, Tom Brady, last week.
You know, last week they were a 10-point favorite at Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh wins the game outright. Luckily, I was on the right side of that. This game here, I'm with you, though. I mean, Carolina's in just turmoil. I think you're going to see a big turnaround from that Bucs team, from Tom's speeches. We all saw what he said on the sidelines. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff going on. I think there's going to be a little fire on them. I think they come out and hopefully get some offense going. But
and then he compared to playing NFL to being military deployed, and that didn't go over too well.
That wasn't some good comments there.
But I do think they're going to rebound, Tommy S. What say you?
Yeah, I tell you, so over the years, when Tom Brady gets pissed, I feel bad for the other team.
Right on.
And he is not happy right now, so I'll lay those points because Carolina is just god-awful. So,
fellas, at 1 o'clock on Sunday, it can't last forever. The Giants, who have been fantastic, surprising, beating out those expectations so far. Jacksonville coming off that loss here last week at Lucas Oil Stadium to the Colts. 3-point favorites in Jacksonville. I'm going to lay the 3, take Jacksonville at home. Jacksonville, they're so enticing because they look like they have a lot of the pieces, but they will disappoint you. I just don't think it's going to be this weekend. Take the Jags. Brent.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Giants kind of are for real. I watched a little bit of them here recently, and they just find a way. They're scrappy. They find a way to win. I'm going to go ahead. They're 5-1 against the spread, and I'm getting 3 points at Jacksonville against a 2-4 team, 2-4 against the spread. I'm going to take those points, John. I'm taking the Giants +3 on the road. I look for them to win outright and go to 6-1.
Tommy S. is feel good for Brent. What do you got?
Well, Jacksonville, I think, is who we thought they were. So I'm with Harvey. I'm taking those G-men.
All right, here we go. Cleveland and Baltimore, 1 o'clock within the AFC North on Sunday. Baltimore, 6.5-point favorites at home. All right, I'm going to not only lock this up, same game just like you did. I'm going to lock this up with the Ravens. And listen, I know I'm not supposed to say that anymore, but hear me out. 6.5-point favorites, and Lamar Jackson hasn't played very well. And I know this because he's my fantasy quarterback, and he put up these stratospheric numbers, and then recently, not so much. We're going to see a rebound there. So that is my Larceny Bourbon Lock of the Week, and my Luna Azul Tequila Shot of the Week. Hello, everybody, to Kenyon Drake. That's a name that you know. You remember him with the Cardinals. You remember him with the Raiders. He's getting another life, so to speak, of playing time, of snaps in Baltimore with the J.K. Dobbins situation. Give me Kenyon Drake as the Luna Azul Tequila Shot of the Week. Brent Holverson.
John, I love them both. Great calls, great game to lock up. There's a little love fest right here, my friend. Love the Luna Azul Shot of the Week with Kenyon Drake, too. I think you're onto something there. I absolutely love Baltimore in this spot. Baltimore 30-20. They cover the 6.5. Give me the Ravens.
Tommy S.
I think the Ravens find a way not to blow a game in the fourth quarter this week. It's Cleveland. They're not very good, so let's go Ravens.
All right, so our dude down there is walking around as a Jets fan with a pup tent in here, so I'd feel really bad if I went a different direction. 4:05 with the Jets on the road in Denver. It's probably more so because Denver is just such a stinking offensive mess, which is probably too bad because their defense is pretty good. But their offense and Russell Wilson, you talk about living down to expectations. Has anybody this season lived further down to expectations than Russell Wilson and what they thought that offense in Denver with Nathaniel Hackett, you know him a great deal, Brent, was going to look like? Not at all. A 180. So I'm going to go ahead and take that 1 point. The Dogs on the road, or the Jets, to make sure my man keeps his pup tent out there as he watches us do these picks. Give me the Jets in Denver +1. Brent Holverson.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Jets sitting at 4-2 against spread, 4-2 on the year, and Denver 2-4 both ways. But you know what? Not so fast. This is the age of Latavius. Latavius Murray's coming back. Latavius Murray, Denver Broncos, little 1-point favorite at home. Give me the Broncos to get the win and cover at home.
Hello, Tommy S.
Yep, going to go with you, JMV. I like those JETs.
Why don't
Jets.
you?
Because Denver's been so bad. I mean, what Russell Wilson get paid $250 million?
I'm telling you. It looks
about time to earn some money.
And a couple first-round picks.
Did you see last week when middle of the field, wide open, first down, move the chains? My man wouldn't do it. I mean, he looked like Burt Reynolds in the longest yard of the second half right there.
He just looks lost out there.
Like, hey, wait a minute, we know Burt, they framed Burt up for that with caretaker situation in the cell, and it kind of looked like Burt until he came to his senses. Maybe Russell Wilson will, but he certainly hasn't yet. Denver's defense has been really good, but give me again the Jets. 4:05 coming up on Sunday. You got Vegas at home versus Houston. I can't trust Houston for anything equal to 7 points. I know Josh McDaniels, that's scary as a proposition too. Lay the 7, give me the Raiders at home, Brent.
I've been looking for this Raider squad all year, John, and they just haven't done it, sitting at 1-4. But you know what? Getting a Houston team coming into Vegas, I'm going to go ahead and join you there. Give me the Las Vegas Raiders to cover the 7 at home.
Tommy, yes.
Is Devontae playing or are they suspending? Do we know yet?
Devontae is playing, as far as I know. I have not seen anything on the suspension.
Well, we're going to roll with you guys in Vegas.
Why not? All right, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, Week 7. The Chargers, man, what a weird Monday night game. You expected some offense, didn't get a lot of offense. They squeaked by on field goals. You did another ugly game. And then you enter Seattle, and Seattle can win ugly. Seattle can paint you a finger-painting portrait and make it look beautiful when it comes to a win right here. They're getting 5.5 points. I got to take it. That's way too enticing for me. So give me the 5.5 and give me Seattle on the road. Because, listen, hear me out. There is no home field advantage for the Chargers, ever.
No.
So give me Seattle on the road. Give me those 5.5.
Absolutely. Did you hear that tonight, too? I mean, I heard more Denver fans than I did Charger fans.
Oh, it's every game.
Crazy. It's just wild. Blows my mind. I'm with you here. I'm going to go with the whole finger-painting portrait that's odd. A little Picasso-esque.
I'll give you a little Jackson Pollock, everybody.
Yes.
You guys know what that means, don't you, right there on YouTube Live?
I'm going to take Seattle plus 5.5. Look for the Chargers to win the game by a field goal because that's kind of what they've been doing. Give me the plus 5.5.
Tommy S., what are you talking about here?
Yeah, the Chargers have been kind of disappointing this year. They built that great defense with free agents. That hasn't really added up to much. I know they got some injuries. Like you said, Seattle, they're scrappy. They find ways. So I'm going to take that 5.5.
All right, 425 is a really good game I think we're going to enjoy, right? But San Francisco has been a bit Jekyll and Hyde. At one point, you're thinking this defense is the absolute best in the NFL. And then last week, they looked the way that they do team-wise against Atlanta. They're getting 2.5 points inside the fly of their Levi's. Coming up at 425 on Sunday. All right, I know. Conventional wisdom would suggest that Kansas City's offense is going to be much better. I think it's going to be one of those games where Frisco's defense steps up. Give me that 2.5 and give me San Fran at home Sunday afternoon over KC, Brent.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I just, in this spot, I mean, and San Fran has a great defense. Their offense can be, it's 50-50 what you're going to see out there. But I still think Patrick Mahomes, after a loss, Andy Reid, I think they find a way to pull this one out. It's shy of a field goal. I'll lay the 2.5, and I'll take the Kansas City Chiefs on the road to get the W.
Tommy, yes.
Yeah, I think Kansas City, they're going to bounce back. They always do. Mahomes, he's a competitor. He's a warrior. And like you said, San Fran, who's going to show up this week? Which team is it? So I like the Chiefs.
Did you say The Warriors? That's one of my favorite films of all time. You ever see The Warriors? 1979?
I have.
So this gang was going to a gang conference in New York City. They're going from Coney Island and Brooklyn all the way to the Bronx. And then the guy that was going to lead all the gangs in New York City got executed by a rival gang of the Warriors, and they had to bop, which meant fight their way back from the Bronx to Coney Island. You ever seen that, Brent?
I have not. 1979.
That's
the
a hell
Warriors,
of a thumbnail sketch, right? You got to watch that.
I'm going to put that in the bank.
The greatest of all time, right there. Speaking bye weeks for Buffalo, the Rams, Minnesota, as Tommy S. mentioned a little bit earlier, and the unbeaten Philadelphia Eagles. All right. 8:20 on Sunday night down in Miami. It's a 7-point favorite. The Dolphins against an absolute disaster. I'm assuming Al Michaels is glad he's probably not on NBC Sunday Night Football because they haven't been any more of a bad team to watch most of the time than the Steelers, right? So let me the 7 here. Don't give me the Dolphins, I think, on Sunday night, Brent.
Yeah, we got Tua back, right? So Tua is going to be a huge relief come back here. Pittsburgh coming off a big win. This is a letdown spot for him here. I think they overperformed last week. I'm going to go ahead and join you here. Tua back, Miami, lay the 7, and, get the W.
Tommy, yes.
Yeah, Tua's back, and that offense is real good with him at quarterback. So I'm taking Miami, laying the 7 with Miami.
What the hell's going on in this Monday night game here? You got Chicago, who's getting 7.5 points as a dog on the road in Foxborough. New England's tough to figure out, right? Really tough to figure out. I'm going to lay in prime time on a Monday night, the 7.5. I'm going to take Belichick at home over the Bears. I guess it's more untrusting of the Bears than it is anything else.
Yeah, they're not good. I mean, they're not good. They got beat by the Washington Commanders, 12-7 last week at home. They just have no offense. I mean, their defense holds up okay, but the thing that scares me here is that hook. That's 7.5, right? There's something about that. But Mappy? What's old boy quarterback?
Yeah, Zappy. There's a great film in 1982 called Zapped with Scott Baio and Willie Ames, where Baio used to have telekinetic powers and would open up the button-down sweaters of a lot of chicks. It was a great movie.
I love how breaking out the old
Scott Baio's kind of a jackass, but he was great in that film. It was Academy Award worthy.
Not only can you remember the movie, who's in it, you bring the year out.
The year out.
I mean, it's amazing.
If there was nudity in the film, all you got to do is ask me.
I love it, my friend. All right, so you're on New England. This game right here, it's just not really, I don't really know here. I'm not going to play it myself, but I'm going to go ahead and take New England. But as always, buy that hook. Take it to 7. But New England, I'll take them to get the big win at home against the ugly Bears.
What are you thinking over there, Tommy S?
I'll tell you, this is going to be my larceny lock of the week.
Oh, lock it up, Tommy.
Because the Bears, as you said, are bad. Justin Fields does not have the skill set to be an NFL quarterback. Not yet, anyway. New England's got a lockdown defense. It's always hard to win in Foxborough. I'm buying that half point, and I'm taking New England.
All right, let's get back to the Colts game coming up in Nashville. This is absolutely mammoth. I think with the Colts this season, I'm 1-5 with the Colts. That one coming last week.
Last week you got your first, yeah.
So maybe, much like everybody told me, I told you so, maybe there is now an infusion of greatness with this team. Here's the problem that I have. Always with Mike Vrabel, this Titans team is tougher. No matter the circumstances, always tougher. Injuries. A guy gets traded like A.J. Brown. Quarterback questions on the team. All this comes down to toughness. And Vrabel and company seemingly always get over. And until the Colts, hopefully they do on Sunday, can prove that theory, and really it's not even a theory, it's the reality. Until they can prove that reality wrong, Tennessee, 2.5-point favorites at home. Give me the Titans and lay that 2.5.
I think you might be on the road to turning things around. You're coming off of a cover, against Colts last week. I think you're on a tier 2. You got Tennessee off of a bye. They're freshened up. They know this is such a big game within this division. Colts just haven't really looked great. They did get the W last week, which was big. I'm going to join
Second half, though. And the no huddle was good.
Yes.
And the offensive philosophy that is changing, Brent, is good.
Absolutely.
So it's not a hopeless thing.
Got to put it all together.
I've got to see more toughness.
Yes.
And I've just seen more out of Tennessee than I have about
Absolutely. And again, like I say, coming off of the bye, I think there's going to have a little bit more freshness there, if you will. This is shy of a field goal. I'll lay the 2.5. I'll take Tennessee with you, John.
What do you got, Tommy S?
Last time you were here at Coaches, we had the Colts getting ready to take on Tennessee.
We did.
At home.
Yes.
Colts came off that big win against Kansas City, saved their season. We said this game is high octane. The Colts are going to come out. And what do? Come out uninspired and flat, and they get rolled out in the first half.
Which is every game.
So, But they won two. They won 2 in a row, and here we are again against Tennessee. First place on the line, right?
Yes.
Winner takes first place. I think the Colts come out and get it done. I'm rolling with the Colts.
I'm glad you didn't make this a trio of Titans here. I like that.
I think the Colts are improving.
And I told you this. I've been all over the map as far as my picks this year, but I've always been wrong. That's the only consistency with the Colts. Like, I'm 1-5 with the Colts this season. I'm a non-believer until I see it. Hopefully you do on Sunday, but I've got to see it first.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And again, you turned it around last week, so maybe hopefully you're on to something here.
Right
Who
on.
knows? But they've got to come out and play that first quarter with more pizzazz. They come out flat, and if they get down, that just takes them completely out of it. They've been playing well in the second half. Like I say, last week they look good. Got to start early. Got to start the game that way.
I love to see it. And even if they don't throw it 58 times like they did last week, even if they don't play exclusively no huddle like they did for the most part last week, you have to add some variations, I think, to this offense that you take away from that Jacksonville game. That's what I hope I see. And by the way, too, Jonathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines back in practice. Shaquille Leonard was back with contact in practice today as well. So things are looking up injury-wise for the Colts as well. Hopefully they can play off of that second half, especially last week.
That's big, and you got to get Jonathan Taylor back to his form, what he was doing last year, because that was key. Once you get that run game going, that's going to allow the ageless wonder, Mr. Matt Ryan, to hopefully do some stuff to spread the field a little bit, make some plays.
Well, he looked aged. He looked aged less more in the second half, but
correct.
Aged he was.
And he threw, what was he? He was like 49 for 58 last week.
Didn't get sacked. The offensive line played better, and see, that is the key. They go as far as the offensive line takes them. And I thought that offense and that new philosophy, that wrinkle they threw in last week, helped not only the offense execute and find some juice and get into a rhythm, help that offensive line too, guys.
Yep, I think you're right. I mean, and hopefully they'll come out and do it again. Like I say, it's going to be tough to go into Tennessee after a bye for first place. But hope you're right. Hope we see some changes.
Hey, Kyle, what do you think about that game on Sunday as we close out our Week 7 Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila shots?
With the way that the Titans have owned the Colts recently, I think it's really hard to take the Colts on the road in this spot.
Very, very difficult.
You guys are a bunch of non-believers.
I like it. I like that belief you have there. Yeah. Listen, it's not like I've been wrong about this team so far this year. It's just Tennessee. Just, you were looking for it in that first meeting here and you didn't see it. It's more difficult for me to see it down there, I guess.
It can be tough. Tough place to go in and play. Like Kyle said, I mean, they're at home. If they play tough, they always play the cold stuff there. So let's see. That's why they play the games.
And it is Week 7, Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila shots. Get by here for that free sample. It's flowing, courtesy of Brent Holverson. You've got great food, and you've got prime rib in the back right here.
French dip sliders.
Hold on a sec. Wait a minute. I might have to snap back into shape right here. French dip.
Yeah.
Ooh la la.
You know, I like a dip, right?
I like a French dip right there. Let's do it. Get down here. Coaches Tavern downtown. Larceny Bourbon Locks. Luna Azul Tequila shots. Week number 7. Inside the lounge via YouTube Live. We're looking at you. We're watching. We're participating right now as well. The stream, the app, HD Radio, and Bob Kravitz of The Athletic coming up on the other side. Mike Chappell a little over 30 minutes away. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
This is Ryan Newman for Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives. When I'm not racing around at 200 miles an hour, I like to take things a little slower. But even here at the lake, I'm still driven to save lives. So if you're like me and you enjoy fishing or hunting, say yes to being an organ donor when you get your license online or when you renew your driver's license. Learn more and sign up today to be an organ donor at donatelifeindiana.org.
Take the next step in your construction career by becoming a union carpenter.
Some of the best pay in the industry.
Amazing health and retirement benefits.
Ongoing cutting-edge training.
Creating my own career path so I can do what I love.
High safety standards.
Great employment opportunities. Why will you join the Carpenters Union? Join the 75,000 men and women in Indiana who build our communities. For more information, visit the Construction Industry Partnership at indianacip.com.
Hey, it's John here for our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila shots. Week 7 of the NFL. Coaches Tavern downtown. We do this every single Thursday. Me, Brent Holverson from a location near as you. We got the samples flowing, and it's a lot of fun every Thursday. The Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila shots here on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Count on the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the best products for your vehicle and budget. Get maximum cooling system performance for 10 years or 300,000 miles with Peak Long Life Universal Pre-Mixed Antifreeze and Coolant. Now just $3.99 after mail-in rebate. Limit supply. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hey, everybody, we've all heard stories from friends and family about something really bad that happened. You're in an accident, there's a painful, life-altering injury, huge medical bills, even wrongful death, all from someone else's fault. In fact, some of you are dealing with it right now. That's where the attorneys at Parr Ritchie Law Firm can help. Tony Patterson, Paul Cruz, and John McLaughlin lead a team with over 70 years of collective courtroom experience and millions of dollars in jury awards and settlements for the clients. Now, none of us can change the past. Just know that Tony, Paul, and John are on your side to help you and your family going forward. They're recognized by super lawyers and U.S. News and World Report as being among the leading injury lawyers in Indiana. So even if you're unsure you have a case, give Parr Ritchie a call. They'll listen and give you their free experience legal opinion. Call 317-269-2509 or visit ParRinjury.com. That's PARR Injury.com today.
To beat back winter weather, you got to plan and prepare to win, because good labor's hard to find. Get ready with the new Boss Snow Raider. It's the ultimate sidewalk solution and the new standard for on-the-job productivity. With a Boss Snow Raider, you'll be more equipped to tackle wintry sidewalks than ever before. Keep them open with a Boss Snow Raider, now in stock and ready to rock. Boss, built to back you up.
Get them before they're sold out at Midstate Truck Equipment, Allisonville Road at 106th Street, 849-4903 or mid-statetruck.com.
The Sundown Gardens Big Fall Sale ends Sunday. 20 to 50% off all nursery stock, 50% off pottery, 20% off fall decor, 186th Street and Spring Mill Road.
It's the Colts VIP Tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Make your game day experience the best it can be. Log on and get your tickets now. It's bullseyeeventgroup.com.
The Ride with JMV.
I got nowhere else to go.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Coaches Tavern downtown. Larceny Bourbon Lime Saloon Azul Tequila Shots. The product is flowing right now. We got free samples for you. Join us here. Tommy S. told you the prime rib is in the house as well. Brent rejoins us in a second. Mike Chappell, top of the hour. Andy Moore, Automotive Group hotline right now. Bob Kravitz of The Athletic is with us. All right, what did you think about last night, Bob, across the board?
Well, I saw some promising things. I thought Ben Mathurin looked terrific. I thought that Halliburton was hunting his shot and was more aggressive offensively than he was than I remember him being last year. And I thought they played hard. They didn't always play well. They're defensively, they struggled as we suspected they might, but I thought we got what we pretty much expected, which was competitive, spirited basketball that wasn't really that great. And I think we're in for a season of that, and I think that's what we all expected. And, you know, pray for Victor Wembanyama.
I have said for this, and Bob Kravitz of The Athletic joins us. Actually, a friend of the show had tweeted and said, hey, all I've heard today in Sports Talk Radio is just such a downer for this young team and this Pacer team after one game. And my point has been this. You're just going to have to embrace the smaller things. And what I mean by that is those little victories that probably will not involve winning, you're going to have to really embrace those. And if we really didn't care or, really wanted to, put this season in a bad spot, then you wouldn't cover them. Then we wouldn't talk about him. But we will continue to talk about him even if they don't win games, because we know, as far as that opportunity, it's going to be few and far between for the most part this season.
Improvement is going to be incremental. And keep in mind, they lost one of their, two best players last night before they even got started, which is, I feel really bad for the ball boy. How bad does he feel? But, look, if Indianapolis if we're such a great basketball state, then we will understand what the Pacers are trying to do and to a certain degree support what they're doing, because and I think there's going to be some really good victories this year. I think there are going to be some fun moments. You're going to get to see Ben Mathurin grow. I realize that Andrew Nembhard didn't play last night, but I really like his game. Isaiah Jackson didn't have a good night, but he's going to be a player. I mean, they've got a lot of guys. You just have to look at it through a different lens. And this year is not about wins and losses. Well, it's about losses, really, but It's not so much about success or failure as much as it is incremental improvement and rebuilding. And look, people in this town, this organization has been to 8 Eastern Conference Finals since I think '94. I mean, they've been pretty damn successful considering that, they're usually near the bottom in terms of payroll. So we've gotten some pretty good NBA basketball around here for a long time. It was time to rebuild. You could call it a tank, call it whatever you want. But this was the right approach to take. And I give them as an organization credit, and Herb Simon credit, for recognizing this is the way to go.
So, Bob Kravitz with us. Often people bring this up to me because you've got Vegas and you've got a Seattle potential reload as an NBA franchise somewhere out there. And this is something both you and I dealt with back in the early 2000s regarding the Colts, because every year, there was a new rumor about, LA wants a team and here's who they want and all this. And then finally that went away. Do you have at all any worry that if people don't come down and go to games and they have sparse attendance figures again this year, that may come around as a conversation later on?
Look, if they put a team back in Seattle, if they move a team, we're not talking about expansion, but if they move a team to Seattle, certainly the Pacers, being a small market that's had limited success in terms of putting butts in the seats, attendance. I think there'll be a team that will be considered. I can tell you this, as long as Herb Simon is with us, this team is going nowhere. Now, I don't know about the succession plan. I don't know who would make that decision. I'm assuming Steve Simon. But I can tell you that as long as Herb is around, and yes, he's 88 years old, this team is not going anywhere.
So Bob Kravitz of The Athletic with us, and I ask you this because you know him probably as well as anybody, certainly for a number of years around him. Jim Irsay at the owners' meetings in New York City a couple of days ago being outspoken regarding Daniel Snyder and what's going on in the NFL via ownership with the Washington Commanders. And this is my educated theory, and I'm curious what you think about it. There was a lot to go into it. I think it's because of his daughters. I think it's, obviously because that's what he feels is right. But I also think that he was the lone guy to be outspoken because he kind of views himself and really wants to hope to take a lead among those higher-level NFL owners, a verbal lead going into the future. With that in mind, do you think he wants to be a leader or known as a leader as far as NFL owners are concerned moving forward? Was that also a part of this, you think, in your opinion?
No, I don't think so. I think. Look, Jim is an important owner in the scope of ownership in the NFL. But he's not Jerry Jones. He's not Robert Kraft. He's always going to be a guy who goes to the beat of his own drum. He's going to be a little bit different. I just think this is Jim being Jim, and he realizes, I think he said what they were all thinking. He was just the only one who had the cojones to say it. I thought it was great. I think, being a girl dad and having 7 granddaughters, and looking at the really horrendous history of that franchise and how they've treated women in particular, that would piss me off. I would take that personally. I mean, you should, whether you've got daughters or sons, just if you're a decent human being. But I think being a girl dad and having those granddaughters, it does give you a different perspective. I've got 2 daughters. And certainly I look at those issues in a slightly different way. So, no, I don't think he's trying to, be more influential. I just think this is Jim being Jim. And should he have said it? Probably not. I'm sure all the owners are pissed off at him, for saying something before the study is out, before the investigation is done. But he's just saying what needs to be said, and I give him great credit for that.
It's Bob Kravitz of The Athletic on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. His football team in a mammoth game coming up on Sunday down in Nashville. We were going through our picks a moment ago, Bob, and I stated mine this way. I can't, in good faith right now, even with what they did, especially in the second half. And I loved, the change of scheme offensively. I love the no huddle. I love the shorter pass patterns, which I think helped out the offense and flow and rhythm and helped out the offensive line as well. But in good faith, I can't pick the Colts until I see them finally get over on what has been historically here recently a much tougher and more of a grinding, regardless of the circumstances, Tennessee team. What do you think?
Well, look, Jacksonville went for 243 on the ground last week. What the hell is Derrick Henry going to do? So that concerns me, but more to the point, the way they won last week is not sustainable. You can't throw 58 passes. If you throw 58 passes, you're going to get beat 40 to 10 against Tennessee. So I thought last week was a unique situation. But look, until they can run the ball and until they can consistently protect Matt Ryan, not just the 1 week. I realize they did a great job last week, but until they can do that, I just think they're going to have a hard time putting points on the board on Sunday. I would take Tennessee every day, all day in that game. Clearly it's a game they have to win if they want any chance to walk away with the AFC South. But, yeah, what they did last week was, I think, a one-off, and this is going to be a whole different challenge.
I agree with the sustainable aspect of it, but I also think you have to take certain, variations from it. And I mean the shorter pass patterns, because it's something you mentioned, and we all know that this offensive line, it's only going to be offensively as good as the offensive line. And I thought more so than even the no-huddle stuff, which we know is not something that they're going to do the entirety of the time on Sunday, but the shorter pass patterns, and more of what we saw of that on Sunday, I think is essential. And I thought it helped out that offensive line against Jacksonville that were all over them down in Jacksonville in week number 2.
Right. Well, his time to throw was 2.4 seconds. He was getting rid of the ball quick. But look, not sustainable. A smart coach is going to play press coverage. He's going to force them to go downfield. And I'm not convinced yet that this offensive line can hold up, especially against a Tennessee team that's got Simmons and Danico Autry, who they never should have let go. It's going to be an interesting game, but honestly, I like Tennessee pretty handily. If you're asking how I would bet the game, which I'm not going to.
We're live at Coaches Downtown, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, suite number 7. Inside the lounge via YouTube Live, and from the Athletic Bob Kravitz is on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline about the return of guys coming up on Sunday. Your expectation is Jonathan Taylor back. What about Nyheim Hines? And then looking ahead, I guess, with Shaquille Leonard having some contact situations too as of yesterday. What do you think about these guys and the possibility of return?
Yeah, I have not been out there this week, but reading and talking to Zach and James, it sounds like all three of those guys are likely to be back. So that's obviously a really good thing. We'll know a hell of a lot more tomorrow. I'll head on out there tomorrow, and we'll know certainly by game time. But these might be game time decisions. I mean, whenever there's any question, it's a game time decision because you don't want to play your cards that way. But that would make a big difference. I mean, they're not getting the turnovers. Certainly, Shaq Leonard would help there. I really like what Deion Jackson brought them last week. But again, he's Jonathan Taylor. I mean, I'll take Jonathan Taylor every day. 24/7, 365. So, we'll see what happens. I think, it comes down to the offensive line, John. You know it. I know. We all know it. Can Dennis Kelly hold up? Can Pryor hold up? I mean, they haven't found a position he can play well yet. I hate to be nasty toward the guy. He seems like a really nice guy, but he just hasn't gotten it done.
All right, before I let you go, you and I have been on the same page regarding the play of Matt Ryan so far. Has that to you been more about Matt Ryan or more about the offensive line play?
Well, look, they go hand in hand, but 11 fumbles is not all on the offensive line. 7 interceptions are not all on the offensive line. I give him credit. He played really, really well on Sunday against Jacksonville. But by and large, I don't think he's been a hell of a lot better, if at all, than Carson Wentz through the first, 6 games. I know nobody wants to hear that, but you look at the numbers, and 11 fumbles. That's unbelievable. I mean, you're on a major record pace there. Now, he's getting hit, but ball security, man. I mean, you're an NFL quarterback. There are times where it can't be helped, but there's also times when you can do a lot better job with ball security. I have not been impressed with Matt Ryan. I think it's imperative that they use the next draft to go get their quarterback of the future. If that means that Matt Ryan sticks around another year and mentors the rookie, that's fine. But they have got to get off the quarterback treadmill, and they need to do it next year.
Yeah, and I think they were going to do that anyway, but certainly that has been escalated because of how that quarterback situation has looked thus far. Hey, Bob, I appreciate it more than you know. Bob Kravitz of The Athletic on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Show up at a live show again sometime soon, man. We enjoyed it the last time out.
We'll do real quick. If you get a chance to check it out, I got a piece about the 4-year anniversary of the Tyler Trent game in The Athletic today, so check it out.
Well done, buddy. I appreciate you, Bob. Thank you.
Right. See you, man.
It's Bob Kravitz right there, The Athletic, via the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Quick break and we'll come back. The Lounge via YouTube Live, Coaches Tavern downtown. We've got our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila shots. And I'll tell you where we're going to be coming up tomorrow. I've got Commanders Colts tickets for you tomorrow. I'll explain. Chappell, top of the hour. Holverson rejoins 93.5, 107.5, The Fan.
A new season. A new QB. A new look. Football is back. And so are Bud Light Blue Fridays. Every week, join JMV beginning at 3 for Cold Bud Lights, Colts football talk, and your chance to win tickets to Colts games.
Join me, JMV, this Friday at Ale Emporium North for your chance at Commanders tickets.
JMV, Bud Light, and you. Doing it for the shoe.
I'll see you this Friday at the Ale Emporium North. Hey, my friends, let's get something. Hey, I love when I follow myself right there. That's cool. JMV here for Caesar Sportsbook. I want you to be involved with the best. You hold on a second. Let me finish this, Al, and then I'll talk with you. Caesar Sportsbook's the absolute best. Here's the reason why. They offer things that others cannot offer you. How about this? A risk-free first bet up to $1,250, and all you have to do is download the app and use the promo code RadioFull today. You place that first bet. If you don't win, that's fine. You're going to get that back in site credit with Caesar Sportsbook. Go ahead and eyeball what you got working with the Colts and the Titans coming up on Sunday. The Titans are 2.5-point favorites. Utilize that. Maybe it's Cincinnati and Atlanta with the Bengals 6.5-point favorites. Whatever the case, go with the best, and that's Caesar Sportsbook. Use that promo code RadioFull, RadioFull. I mentioned the Caesars rewards. Nobody else can offer this. Tickets, free stays, experiences, and more with Caesar Sportsbook. Download that today. Caesar Sportsbook, the promo code RadioFull. Open to new users in Indiana who are 21 years or older. If qualifying bet loses, bet amount returned to site credit must use within 14 days. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
It takes everyone in the community working together to create a brighter future. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Visit liveunited.org to learn how you can help.
Hey, JMV here for the absolute best in realty. Mark Deedle, 317-755-4232. That's Mark Deedle Realty, 317-755-4232. MarkDeedle.com, Mark, DIEDLE.com. TEL.com today. Let's talk about Richard in Maryland and Indy. It was time to downsize. Going to move into a place with a little bit of help. Now, the best price was the focus to pay for the higher cost of the assisted living. Who do they call upon? Of course, the absolute best in the business. That's Mark Dietl. Mark Dietl got the job done right. I'm telling you, no matter what your situation, downsizing or upgrading, you always go with the best, and that's Mark Dietl. He's going to guarantee an offer in 3 days for full market value, or he will list it for free. Call Mark Dietl today, 317-755-4232, 317-755-4232, markdietl.com. That's markdietel.com today.
Charlie says sell it. So to beat this wacky weather, Payless Liquors has Modelo 24-pack cans at $34.99. Svedka Vodka, the 80-proof 1.75 liter, is only $14.99. And Kim Crawford Sauvignon Blanc, $12.99 a bottle. Plus, don't forget the parents this Halloween. 99 brands and Fireball adult trick-or-treat bags are only $13.49. And when you're in one of the 26 Payless Liquor stores, don't forget to scan the QR codes for Bud Light Fan Zone tickets or a Bullseye VIP tailgate. Don't pay more, get more, and pay less at Payless Liquors.
Hey, shot for Andy Moore Buick GMC 131st State Road 37. It's in Fishers. My man Eric Wilson is ready to deal for you if you're looking for a new set of wheels, like a brand new GMC Acadia. I'm rocking that. You know what? It's okay that I love it, but, man, my wife, my kids love it. That is the real deal. They got them for you right now at a great price. Incredible pricing, as I mentioned, too, and the service after the sale is absolutely unbelievable. The inventory is also there. Just ask for Eric Wilson at Indiana's Best, Andy Moore Buick GMC, 131st and State Road 37 in Fishers.
Dan Dockage for Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, and I got to tell you, I see why. Since I started a testosterone replacement program with Affinity, my energy, mental focus, drive, everything is up, and the physical benefits are amazing. Check them out at feelgreatindy.com. Guys, you can improve the way you look, the way you feel. You can build muscle and lose fat. Affinity will give you the roadmap. Go to feelgreatindy.com. That's feelgreatindy.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. The days of multiple offers are behind us, and it's officially a buyer's market. And although interest rates are a little higher than they were this time last year, the lower sale price should more than make up for it. And when rates do come back down, we can always do a simple refinance to lower your monthly payment. Marry the house, date the rate. Thehomeloanexpert.com. Home of the 10-day closing guarantee. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Hey, a major shout out to Love Heating and Air, John and Chris Love. I was talking to John yesterday. They sent out Kurt today, right? Because I had some leakage, a little bit of leakage going on here, and he came out. Shout out to Kurt, fixing that immediately. I mean, immediately. You always, when you have an issue, want to make sure that you are covered and you have the utmost confidence in what they're doing for you. That's what you get with the absolute best. And Love Heating and Air Conditioning. John and Chris Love today at 317-353-2141. Even ask for Kurt. Kurt was awesome today. Thank you, Kurt, at Love Heating and Air Conditioning. 317-353-2141 online, love-hvac.com today.
Are you seeing the telomeres here? Come here, look at the scope.
Dr. Ocasio's lab startup just discovered a gene therapy breakthrough.
The cells have already doubled.
He needs a fleet of research assistants before this breakthrough breaks them.
We need lab techs, research assistants.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Pacers host the San Antonio Spurs tomorrow evening at 6:30 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
It takes him a second to get on the stool because he's under 5 feet tall.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Oh, this is Coaches Tavern downtown. We're really glad to have you here, whether you're listening 93.5, 107.5 The Fan, the app, the stream, HD radio, or inside the lounge via YouTube Live. Thank you for joining us. Kyle back to the station. Cam is here with me. Brent Holverson as well. Coaches Tavern downtown. Week 7, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Anything new in the world of Heaven Hill Distillery umbrella coverage?
You know, John, we've had a great week. We got these, I think I've talked a little bit about some new brands we bought. Samson Surrey brands, right? So Widow Jane Bourbon, which is outstanding.
Cool. Tequila
Ocho. Amazing tequila, great juice.
Tequila Ocho?
Tequila Ocho. There's a Plata, there's a Reposado, and a Niñejo, and they're all here in Indiana now, so it's great. We finally got a lot of good love going on with those brands. Few Bourbon out of Chicago, Evanston, Illinois, which is another one of the brands. We've also got Blue Coat Gin and Bryn Single Malt. So some new players in the Heaven Hill family. It's been fun to play with. Absolutely.
Man, you got to add to the fam
add to the family. Well, I'll have to get you some samples so you can do a little sampling.
You're going to sample right there.
Just kind of play it out a little bit. So, I got a lot of fun with those brands, and we've got some of our, the good allocated brands coming out. Parker's Heritage, Old Fitzgerald, things that come out once, twice a year, and that's right around the corner. So looking forward to see some of those hit the shelves for the upcoming holiday season. And yesterday I was out and about, look all over, John. You know it's everywhere. Evan Williams eggnog. It's on the floor now, and I will tell you, it's all gone. So if you see it out there, go ahead and get it, because it's you need to start stocking up for the holidays. So.
See Evan Williams all over these baseball broadcasts.
Isn't that cool to watch? Yeah. Official sponsor. It's fun. It just makes me smile when I see it. So I love watching playoff baseball this time of year, right? Last night started, you got NBA going on. We've got the NFL, which we love, college football, and baseball playoffs.
College basketball is just
right around the corner.
So.
Absolutely.
Brent Holverson, everybody. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. He rejoins us coming up in a minute after Mike Chappell, top of the hour, CBS 4 and Fox 59. The injury report looking pretty good today. Who is going to be good to go for that mammoth contest in Tennessee coming up on Sunday? Mike tells us next.
Football is back, and so is your chance to win with BetRivers Sportsbook app. Featuring our new multi-game same-game parlay. Combine the action of multiple same-game parlays in one bet for more action and bigger payouts. Bet the spread, bet the over, bet player props, and more. Throw in daily odds boost plus award-winning customer service, and it's a touchdown. Download it today.
Must be 21 plus. Available in Indiana only. Void where prohibited. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Thad Matta is back as Butler University's men's basketball coach, and single-game tickets for Hinkle Fieldhouse this season are on sale now. Matta has reshaped the team's roster and recommitted these Bulldogs to the Butler way. The Dogs are pushing to sell out Thad's first game November 7th versus New Orleans and need you there. 4-game packages are also available starting at just $65. Visit butlersports.com/buy tickets to get your seats. Be part of Coach Matta's return. Get to Hinkle this season.
I got a great idea for you because I want a good night's sleep. It may not be like what you normally get, like, 8 to 10 or whatever, but I just want a solid night's sleep. And I get that now thanks to Aurora Specialty Sleep Clinic and a couple of former Hoosiers, too, helping me out. We're talking Brian Evans and Dr. Steve Green, because I struggle with snoring. I did. And what happened? They set me up with a simple yet affordable and custom-fit mouthpiece. You wear it at night, and now I sleep great and wake up feeling refreshed. So can you. So if you or somebody you know in your life struggles with excessive snoring, hey, let's do something about it. Aurora Specialty Sleep Clinic. Get that private consultation today. Tell them I sent you. StopYourSnoreNow.com. Fred, who's a listener to this show, did it. Fred sleeps soundly now, and you will too. StopYourSnoreNow.com for that consultation today.
As a Shane Company jewelry consultant, I always enjoy telling our customers about our jewelry and how special it is. Like our cultured pearls. And right now, pearls are more popular than ever. Pearl strands, drop earrings, pearl rings, worn stacked and layered, everyone's wearing them. Did you know that a pearl takes 2 to 3 years to form inside a mollusk? It takes on the color of the nacre, the interior of the shell. So a lavender nacre will produce a lavender pearl. At Shane Company, our pearls are known for their beautiful luster. They're in their natural colors and never dyed. We source them directly from pearl farmers around the world. And we string our pearl strands with an individual knot between each pearl for extra security. Visit us today or chat with us online. We don't work on commission, so you'll never feel rushed or pressured. Whether you come in for a new on-trend pearl necklace or a diamond engagement ring, we'll educate you about our jewelry, so you'll leave feeling like an expert.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
JMV here, ready to simplify those purchases while earning unlimited cash back. Will form a credit union is unlimited cashback credit card is for you. We're talking no more redeeming points or capped rewards. Forum's card pays you unlimited cash for every purchase every month automatically. Plus, make secure mobile payments, contactless purchases, and get real-time spending alerts so you can stay on top of your expenses. This card is perfect for those everyday items and monthly subscriptions. Do it today. Stop by a branch location or log on forum at cu.com.
You've been planning for your retirement for some time, but right now, things may not be going according to plan. If your retirement timeline is shifting due to market performance, it's time for a second opinion. Edelman Financial Engines can help answer questions like when to take Social Security and how you may be able to turn your savings into the retirement income you need. You don't want to postpone retirement. Now is the time to talk to a dedicated wealth planner. At Edelman Financial Engines, you get personalized investment recommendations. Our approach is backed by institutional rigor. We model over 38,000 securities monthly, so we can better stress test your portfolio through thousands of scenarios. And our planners don't sell products to earn commissions. Get your complimentary wealth checkup today, where you can discuss your financial goals with a wealth planner. Call Edelman Financial Engines at 888-899-4450. That's 888-899-4450. Or visit efewealthplanners.com.
Start NFL Week 7 off right with a no-sweat same-game parlay from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Hey, it's Mark from Kevin and Query. It doesn't matter if you're new to FanDuel or already have an account. You'll get free bets back if your Thursday night same-game parlay doesn't hit. NFL same-game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payday. We've got Saints at Cardinals. There'll be a lot of touchdowns in this one, I believe. Give me Alvin Kamara and Hollywood Brown as anytime touchdown scores and Kyler Murray over in rushing yards. Build your own same-game parlay or choose from one of the popular same-game parlays pre-built for you in the FanDuel top-rated sportsbook app. However you want to play, you can bet the NFL on Thursday night with a no-sweat same-game parlay. Just sign up with promo code MARK if you don't already have an account. If you do have an account, you're all set. Just opt in on the homepage. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 and over and present in Indiana. 3 or more legs and minimum $1 bet required. Refund issued is now withdrawable free bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Max free bet $5. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
What if the next time you painted your home was the last time you painted your home?
Our Rhino Shield has been on for 8 years.
Rhino Shield. Call 888-RHINO-41. Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
I want you out in front of the school with her. I'd like to have a few words with you, by God.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Coaches Tavern downtown, Week 7, Live City Bourbon Locks, Luna's Roll Tequila Shots. Thank you for listening. Thanks for being a part. If you guys want to jump on board, I will get some time to get you on the horn here at 239-1070. Coming up a little bit later. Inside the Lounge via YouTube Live, thank you for joining us too. Brent Holverson, Heaven Hill Distillery in the house. Tommy S. has got prime rib rocking today. All good. Pacers lose last night to Washington. Back-to-back Friday and Saturday, San Antonio and Jaden Ivey and the Pistons coming up on Sunday. And, by the way, Myles Turner stepped on a ball boy's foot during warmups. He's out at least a week. We'll see if he plays at all on that 5-game road trip that comes after that Saturday night get-together with the Pistons. But Myles, at least according to Shams Charania, a week that he will miss. Got football later on tonight, Amazon Prime, and we just hope that it lives up to the Al Michaels expectations on a Thursday night. The Saints and the Cardinals, 2-4 versus 2-4 from Glendale, Arizona, coming up later on tonight. Meantime, Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline from CBS 4 and Fox 59. Mike Chappell joins us. All right, Mike, I was talking to Bob Kravitz a little bit earlier, and Frank Reich said this week that what they did on Sunday is non-sustainable. 58 throws by a 37-year-old quarterback, I get. But can they not take certain variations of that offense and put it to good use and help them out, especially that offensive line, more? Will you expect to see that coming up on Sunday in Tennessee, or is it back to something different? Offensively, what's your expectation that you see?
It's just a really good question. And what I'd like to know is, remember what Frank told us is he was kind of hopeful that Taylor would play last week. And then, it was more wishful thinking, he said, but then he couldn't. If Taylor plays last week, do they still throw it 58 times, and he gets 10 of those receptions that Jackson got? So how much of that was where we don't have Taylor, we don't have Hines, we've got to do something? And I think they get both Hines and Taylor back this week. So what do you try to do? 50 passes is not sustainable. Just look it up. I mean, I did. The Colts are like 6-25 all time throwing the ball 50 times. 6-25-1 because of the Houston tie. So it's not the way to do it, but there are times that it is. And if they, with Taylor and Hines back, do they try to go back to more of what they think they want to be with, 60-40 pass run and really try to feature Taylor? I don't know. There is a place for the no huddle on occasion. We're not going to. This isn't going to be Jim Kelly and the K gun. It's just not. They're not built that way. So I'm really curious to see how they do it. They need to run the ball some. They just do. It's since that opener, they've just not gotten anything done from the running game, and their best player is Jonathan Taylor. So you've got to get more out of him. They've got very little out of Hines so far. That's another story for another day, why they can't get that done. But, yeah, I can see mixing in the no-huddle. It gives them tempo. And it's one thing that Peyton Manning always used to point out is, yes, it speeds things up and you can go at your own pace. But what it really does, when you do it the right way, is it doesn't let the other team sub. You keep their people on the field, and that was what's so cool about when you had Dallas Clark. He was almost a third receiver, and you really force him into bad matchups. And Kylan Granson can do that. He's got that kind of skill. There's a place for it. How much? I'm curious, because they at their core, Frank knows they've got to throw the ball X number of times and be aggressive, but he also knows the way this team's built as a run game. I'm really curious how they mix the two now that they're getting their personnel back.
All right, I want to go with that story line that you kind of mentioned. You save it for a later date because I'm interested. I had Deion Jackson on the show yesterday. Yeah, well, I mean, Deion Jackson in the past two games, up until he got injured, looked good. And a lot of what he was doing, I think people expected is certainly a higher level of consistency from 21. So has that inconsistency, and I know I'm not talking about the game. He was injured in Denver, didn't obviously play against Jacksonville, but we expected a lot more from him. So is that on him or is that on the offense? Where would you lay claim to any blame as far as his results not being what we were told going back to training camp?
Well, that's on them. It's not him. And if he hadn't got that concussion on that third play, I mean, who knows what his workload would have been. Remember, the first three plays were to him at Denver, so he would have got a heavy workload. But it's on them. It just is. And early in the season, everything worked against them. I don't want to give them a pass, but so much you fall behind, and it just was hard to sustain things. They weren't sustaining drives. Their plays were down. And you're still trying to get Taylor the ball. You're still trying to get Pittman the ball. And it was just hard to work in Hines. But moving forward, how many times have we had this discussion about not utilizing one of your playmakers? But to do that, to really do that and make it all work with Taylor and Pittman and everybody, and Pierce is coming on, you've got to have X number of plays in a game. You can't really. It's not conducive to get behind, and you just need to get the rhythm on offense, and that's why that with what they were doing with the no huddle, maybe that is really where a Nyheim Hines would step up and really be good. But at the same time, you got Taylor, and I'm not saying he's a problem. He's not. I mean, goodness gracious, 1,800 yards last year on a zillion touchdowns, but it's difficult to balance throwing the ball as much as you really need to win in this league with getting Jonathan Taylor his touches, because we've seen he can take over a game. If he gets his 20, 25 touches, or not touches, but carries, and is doing his thing, then they're going to win most of the time because he's that good. So, yeah, it's really curious. And Nyheim Hines, it's on them for not being able to get it done, and it will be on them moving forward to make sure that he gets the appropriate number, whatever that number is, the appropriate number of touches, because he is that good, and he can, just think if, and I'm not even remotely criticizing Deion Jackson. I think he had 10 catches for 79 yards, I think it was. What does Nyheim Hines do with 10 catches? I mean, I just think he's got more explosiveness in him than what Deion Jackson has. And Deion Jackson's given him 2 great games, 2 really, really good games, but he's not Taylor and he's not Hines. I'm not sure if Hines is going to hold up if you give him 12 or 13 carries a game as a running back. But I just want to see if they can still stay somewhat up tempo and also try to be who they think they need to be, and that's a run team. And this is a good time to do it. This is a good game to do it, because I just don't think, unless you go out there and lay the ball in the field like they did last time against Tennessee, the games are going to stay close and it's going to stay winnable, because that's how Tennessee plays, unless you go out there and have 3 turnovers again.
So Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59 on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. How are they going to handle things offensively? Do you think that what we saw with the no huddle, what we saw with the shorter pass patterns, the adjustments they clearly made in that mini bye week with that offense, do you think that had a great deal to do with the successful pass protection that we have seen really for the first time extended period-wise this season?
Probably goes hand in hand. I mean, if you look, they really got the ball out of Ryan's hands. Ryan really got the ball out of his hands quick. And the 58 throws and no sacks, that's the best ratio in franchise history. And I looked it up. It's 11th best all time in the NFL. That many throws and no sacks. But I tell you, and not to throw water on the offensive line because they played well, but he still got pounded a couple times. There were 4 or 5 plays where he just got rocked with the short drop. So there's still some issues with the offensive line. But when you can do that, quarterbacks are going to get hit. But when you can limit, the free shots and the constant barrage on him, you can see what 34 points, and they really look good in rhythm. So I think they can still do that. Now, what's missing until the last play of the game was shots down the field. Most of that stuff was short and crossing and use tight ends and all that, which is great. But they still need to incorporate some deep throws, which, we're always nitpicking on how they can do things differently. So it just shows that this is another way for them to go. And these crossing routes and the short stuff to all these guys, to Pierce and Pittman and Paris Campbell, he's played well. It just shows there's another way to do it. And if they can get their running game going, and it's really a big if, because the last 5 games, they've not run the ball well, from start to finish. So if they can get back to somewhere close to what they were and have that kind of efficiency in the pass game, then this can be a pretty strong offensive team. But I need to see more than one game to see that can be done, over and over again.
Yeah, I bring this up. I think I've brought this up with you before, too. Mike Chappell joins us because Jim Irsay had been so outspoken, regarding Tennessee and beating Tennessee. You can kind of tell. I've described it as smitten and or jealous of not just their recent history success, but the way they play, because the way they play is obviously kind of what the Colts wanted to build here, offensively and defensively speaking here. Is that true? Do you think it's smitten? Is there a bit of jealousy? Is it more about results or more about the way that they play? Anything there?
Probably both. Yeah, smitten. Yeah, he likes the way they do it. He's always been a fan of Vrabel. He always has. And I'm not saying they built this team after the way Tennessee does. This is just sort of the way Chris Ballard and Frank Reich, primarily Chris Ballard, believes a team needs to be built. Defensive line, tough defense on offensive line and run the ball. And now, how would that change if a certain quarterback were still here, or they get a quarterback who's more of a steady deep threat type of thing? I don't know. But yeah, it's in the fact that Tennessee's won 4 straight and was it 5 out of 6 and all this stuff, and really just sort of taken over the division. And until you beat them, it's the old thing. Until you beat the champs, they're the champs, and it's kind of crazy how this game, and you'll go to your must win and all that kind of stuff. But it's one of those that how different the rest of the season is, or at least the immediate part of the season is, depending on if you win or lose. I mean, you win and you've sort of got control of the division with a couple of winnable games. Washington and was it New England coming up? So you can really sort of set yourself up. We talked about this going into the season, which they've not done, taken advantage of. The boys you get beat, and you still got the Tennessee thing. You've got an owner that's PO'd again over the fact you can't beat these guys, and then you're just playing catch up the rest of the way. And I went back and looked, and these guys have never won the division with a losing record in the division. It sort of makes sense, but they've only won the division one time, 3-3 in the division. So it's just, that's the way you get in. But you're right. That Tennessee thing it's stared him in the face, and he's made his feelings known about it. The team knows about it. The coaching staff knows about it. And you just got to beat them. And like I say, it's not like they're the Buffalo Bills and they're going to blow your doors off. That's not who they are. But they just kind of roll their sleeves and sort of pound on you. And if they smack you in the face, and if you don't smack them back, it's a long day. So I think these guys, they understand that, but can they do something about it? And until they do, it's there. And until they do, Reggie Wayne can't get up there on the stage and say, well, it's over X number of years, we won 19. And until you end the narrative, it's there, and all you can do is look at it and say, yeah, they got us. And that's no way to be. There's no way to be that somebody's just going to beat you until you find a way to end it.
So Mike Chappell with us. Jonathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines, Shaquille Leonard. Likelihood we see, we'll start with that trio right there on Sunday.
Yeah, 2 out of 3. Boy, I need to see Shaq play. I
would agree.
I tell you, I thought, initially we had talked about why not put him on IR because, he was going to miss 2 games anyway, which he has. And I thought it would take another couple of games to where he could, after having surgery on his nose. But he's back out there, and, if not this week, then next week, I think probably for sure. But that's pretty impressive. I've never had a broken nose. I've just got to think to have a broken nose and get out there on a football field and have people smack your head for 60 minutes would just hurt. would just hurt. The other 2, I think, play. Jonathan Taylor had a different vibe about him today than last week. He just did. And Nyheim Hines was kind of very upbeat in the locker room, and he's been a full participant the last 2 days. He's just got that last independent neurologist to be cleared by. He was close last week. So I think they're back, and it's just good to finally have your 2 guys back. And again, that's not to disparage Deion Jackson or Philip Lindsay at all, because those guys came in and did a pretty good job. But they're 1-2 for a reason. Jonathan Taylor had his great season last year for a reason. He's got his picture on the building for a reason. They're just a different team. They can be a different team when Jonathan Taylor's doing what he does.
All right. If they lose, how do you view this team moving forward, especially off the momentum, I guess, you gained in the past 2, even with that ugly win in Denver on that Thursday night, but certainly on Sunday against Jacksonville? They lose the workload that they're going to have to make themselves legitimized as a possible playoff team.
It depends on how they lose. I mean, if they go out there and they just get rolled, which I don't think happens, that's one thing. If you go and you play really well and Tennessee plays well and they beat you with a field goal at the end or whatever. I think they can build on that, and there's still reason to believe now if they just get pulverized, or just they're not, it's not competitive in the fourth quarter, then there's reason for concern. And I guess it would be what do you point to say, well, last half of the year they can come back because of what? Well, it depends on how you play. If you play well and get beat, then you can still build on that. Although the task is just going to be as hard as, no matter how you play. But as long as they play well and lose, I could still be optimistic. If they lose and just have one of those Jacksonville games or where they just don't play well, what gives you the optimism to think they can come out of it? But I don't think they win Sunday, but I'm not going to be surprised if they do, because I do think that if they can just keep those turnovers and the sacks down, not turnovers down, get rid of the turnovers and keep sacks down. I like this team with what we saw last week, but again, I've got to see it more than just one afternoon.
Hey, Mike, before I let you go to Frank Reich, I think it was on Colts Roundtable Live with Matt Taylor back on Monday, went the I told you so route with this wide receiving group right now. Yeah. It's funny because you hear the preaching of patience from coaches, whether it's, executives, whatever. And then, we did have a sample size basically this year, especially of, 6 weeks, and it goes back 4 years from me. Is it time with that particular group, you think, to be able to hand out those I told you so's for those that maybe were non-believing like me, certainly in the offseason?
No, I was one of those non-believers too. I think he was having fun, which is fine. But no, I'm still not. The thing is, the offensive line issues have been so immense that I thought, receivers aren't so bad. They're playing pretty well, and the tight ends are playing well. So those two areas that we were concerned about have played pretty well. But boy, you get past the first three receivers, and who's your fourth? You really miss Ashton Doolin. But I really like Pierce. I really like Pittman, and I really like Paris Campbell. We're still waiting for Paris Campbell's big game, but I still don't like the depth. I mean, we saw what happened when Pierce and Pittman were both out early in the year, and any team loses their top two guys, it's going to hurt. But I'm still not crazy about the depth at receiver, and at some point you're going to need your fourth and fifth guy to step up, and we've really not seen that really be for them to be able to do that yet. So far they've played well with those guys in the last few games. The top three guys have been really, really good. But yeah, I'm still concerned, and it's the top to bottom depth that always concerns you, because somebody's going to get hurt, because somebody always gets hurt. And I'm not real confident on the fourth and fifth receiver right now being able to step up and give you 6 for 80 or whatever when you really need it.
I actually felt like I told you so a couple of times this week from the Colts head coach and then from the fans out there regarding Matt Ryan. And I don't think I've been wrong about his shortcomings, while I also realize that a great deal has to do with the offensive line. You just can't look past 11 fumbles and 7 interceptions through the first 6 weeks of the season. So I don't know how else to view it, but did we kind of see maybe a transition for the better from him on Sunday, or might that just be a blip on the radar?
We'll see. It's so week to week. I've not been as harsh on Ryan as you have, because I put so much of the bad play on the offensive line, and where so many times he had no chance. And then he goes out and throws a couple of just dumb interceptions, and it just throws my defense of him out the window. But I think, but again, they can't live on 50 passes and 389 yards from Matt Ryan. That's going to get you beat. It's going to get you beat and over the long haul, and they know that. But I think he's played. Boy, it's kind of like the old "How'd you like to play, Mrs. Lincoln?" Well, okay, except for the gunshot. I think except for the turnovers, he's played pretty well. He's brought them back to win in position 5 games. Even the Tennessee game earlier, they win at Houston if a kicker kicks a 42-yard field goal. So So but then at the same time, he helped put him in the spot to trail in those games. A lot of these fourth quarter coming backs by all these quarterbacks is because the quarterback, puts you in a position to come back. But I think he's played well mostly, but you cannot survive with what you had 11 fumbles and 7 interceptions, and you can't do it. I don't care who you are. You can't do it. But if he cleans up his act like he did last week, by and large, I think this offense can be pretty good.
It's Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59. We'll see what happens in Nashville coming up on Sunday. And then, as we always do, Mike, react and respond accordingly.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Accordingly is what we do. Thank you, buddy. Have a great weekend.
Next week.
It's Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59. Any of you jackasses out there think I just say stuff to say stuff? Seriously. Are there really jackasses out there that think that? It just occurred to me as I was talking to Mike. You think I just say stuff to say stuff? I've been doing this for the better part of, what is it now? What year is this, 2022? 18 years? I've been doing this, and I can tell you not one time have I ever said anything just to say something. It's always like a deeply rooted thought and or opinion. Just kind of curious. Cal, for as long as you've known me, you think I've ever said something just to say something?
No, you're not one to say something just to kind of get a rise out of people. That's not your style.
Now, get a rise makes me laugh. Now, I am guilty as charged with that stuff. But, seriously. You get back to all the points that we make on this show, and responding accordingly is what we do. I've told you this before. It's much better when this team wins. It's much better when this team has accomplishments, shows results, because you guys dig it. You guys think that everybody responds to, and we get the better numbers with the negativity. Man, it just drives it away. And then think about me, because I get the 3 hours. I'm like the cleanup hitter on the day. So I get the final 3 hours of you hearing 6 hours of piss and moan, piss and moan, piss and moan. Piss and moan, piss and moan. I think that was 6. So I come in with 3 more for you? And no doubt. I mean, it's a gig. You got to come up with something a little bit different, and to come on here every day and just complain about something is not and never will be certainly what I am. So responding accordingly is 100% accurate each and every week right here, regardless of what did I call them, jackasses? What some of you jackasses might think right there. Quick break and we'll come back. Live downtown at Coaches Tavern. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. News of the day, Myles Turner, who rolled his ankle, hurt his foot in warm-ups when he stepped on the foot of a ball boy, is going to miss around a week, according to Shams a little bit earlier. Pacers San Antonio tomorrow night. Pacers Pistons. That's Jaden Ivey in his first game at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in the NBA for the Pistons, the former Boilermaker guard, coming up on Saturday night. Then it's 5 consecutive on the road for the Pacers. Pacers lose their opener last night to the Washington Wizards against San Antonio at Gainbridge Fieldhouse coming up tomorrow night. Brent Holverson rejoins. Tomorrow's show is going to be live, I believe, Castleton, right? 82nd and Allisonville Road, right? 82nd? Is it 86th? Man, I always mix that up. 86, yeah. I thought it was 82nd, right? That's not 82nd? 86. Son of a gun. I'm always so good geography-wise, yeah. Right there off of Allisonville, Ale Emporium, Bud Light Blue Friday. I've got multi-pair of Commanders Colts tickets for you coming up tomorrow. I just got to make sure you guys get there. I can't give you faulty information. I'm going to be on the money with that. That's tomorrow, Ale Emporium, Castleton, Bud Light Blue Friday. Quick break. Brent rejoins. We got more for you still to come live from Coaches Downtown. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Soaking in a hot tub full of Epsom salts is the absolute best way to minimize everyday aches and pains. And we know all about Epsom salts at Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are the only hot tubs on the market that can safely and effectively use Epsom salts. Made right here in Indiana, Royal Spa hot tubs are the highest quality hot tubs on the market. Visit any one of our 3 Indianapolis locations or visit royalspa.com.
Ah, Royal Spa.
When winter's at its worst, snowplow professionals need the best. That's why your local Boss dealer has the ultimate lineup of snow and ice solutions you need. Front to back, Boss leads with advanced truck plows and spreaders, compact equipment, heavy equipment, and time-saving tools to clear any surface area. Keep them open with a Boss snowplow, built to back you up.
Get them before they're sold out at Midstate Truck Equipment, Allisonville Road at 106th Street, 849-4903 or mid-statetruck.com.
Hey, shout out to Lance and his local team at LD Smith Plumbing. I mentioned a little bit earlier that Kurt came out, right? But I had 2 Kurts at my place today. This was Kurt with LD Smith Plumbing, and it was incredible. I had some leakage going on, and they're still going to be working on it. But you know what? As I always tell you, you always want to make sure that you have the best, because when something plumbing happens, it completely sideswipes you. You are surprised, but I'm cool, calm, and collected like I sit here every single day, because I know at 317-927-7186 that the best in plumbing have my back. Leakage, whatever, anything in plumbing, especially emergencies. And thank you, Lance, and thank you, Kurt, for coming out today with LD Smith Plumbing. Keep this number handy, 317-927-7186 online. That's ldsmithplumbing.com today.
Credit card debt in the U.S. has hit an all-time high of $930 billion, and they're projecting it to top $1 trillion by year-end. That's great news for the big banks and greedy credit card companies, but the rest of us are really starting to feel the pain. What if I told you that help was just a phone call away? Learn more about a simple cash-out refinance today by visiting thehomeloanexpert.com.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Hey, your real growing hair again. It's not a pipe dream at all. This is reality for you. You have the options of getting your real growing hair again with PAI. 888-724-5129. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
This is Ryan Newman for Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives. When I'm not racing around at 200 miles an hour, I like to take things a little slower. But even here at the lake, I'm still driven to save lives. So if you're like me and you enjoy fishing or hunting, say yes to being an organ donor when you get your license online or when you renew your driver's license. Learn more and sign up today to be an organ donor at donatelifeindiana.org.
Hey, it's JMV. Join me and my friend Brent Holverson every Thursday for our Larceny Bourbon Locks and our Luna Azul Tequila shots. We're going to give you all you need to know about the week in the NFL and also give you the fantasy football shot of the week as well. It is awesome, and you could also win by playing along with us. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila shots, me, Brent Holverson, every Thursday right here. Brought to you by Heaven Hill Distillery.
Football fans can turn a loss into a win with the king of sportsbooks. Just place a single first touchdown score prop bet on any Monday or Thursday pro football game. If your bet loses, you'll receive up to $25 back in free bets. This offer is available all season long. Wager confidently and take your game to the next level with BetMGM. Just log into your account or download the BetMGM app and sign up today. Turn game time into showtime with the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Indiana only. New and existing customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Denny Smith here for Sundown Gardens. The big fall sale has been extended through Sunday, October 23rd, and that means 20 to 50% off all nursery stock, 50% off pottery, and 20% off Miss Mary's fall decor. Sundown Gardens still has a great selection of nursery stock, and fall's a great time to plant. Visit Sundown to find the best plant selections to help bring fall color to your home. Don't forget the Kids Zone for tons of fun every Saturday through October 30th. It's at 186th Street and Spring Mill Road, sundown.gardens.com.
Hubler makes it easy to get your perfect car or truck. Get your vehicle your way. They'll help you pre-order a vehicle built just for you. Visit drivehubler.com.
Who is running your business anyway? Let Teltech's local professionals help you with your business internet, VoIP, and remote work needs. For a free review, visit ttibiz.com.
The Ride with JMV.
You're going to eat your fat.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Spalding. You guys remember when I had Spalding on? Spalding of Caddyshack actually was on with me once. He is a real estate agent, I think, in the Boston area. You guys remember that, Bill? We went over his line, "Are you going to eat your fat?" a number of times. I want a hamburger, no a cheeseburger. We went all, as you talk about some classic lines, but Spalding has been on with me before. I want to say he's a real estate agent somewhere in New England, I think around the Boston area. Inside the Lounge via YouTube Live. So JMB, what you're saying is that you're not just talking to fill the air. Got to fill that airtime. No way, dude. I'm not talking. If I wanted to, I could talk forever. I could do an 8-hour show. It would not faze me whatsoever. I'd get tired, but I could do it. I could do it right off the top of my head. It wouldn't take me a second to do it. And I'd have content for you. JMV is the guy in the back of the parade with the shovel and the trash can. Wait a minute. Am I cleaning up the horse poop? Is that what I'm doing there? With the trash can? I love you guys. When I call you jackasses, that's absolutely 100% accurate for some of you right there. That's beautiful, though. I am that guy in the back of the parade with the shovel and the trash can. That is so good. JMV, I think you won't admit that you're wrong regarding wide receiver and Matt Ryan. No. I will admit it if I'm ever proven wrong. What I'm saying is that a half of football or 2 games, you guys tell me all the time, well, you know what, you got to give more of a sample size. I mean, what you're talking about right now, you have no patience. That's what you tell me. And then you come right back and you see a half of football and you go, hey, I told you so regarding Matt Ryan. You know what, you haven't told me anything. There's still, according to you, a long way to go. Now, I will admit when I'm wrong, and I would love to admit when I'm finally wrong about the wide receivers. I love Michael Pittman Jr. Love him. Love having him on. Love having him talk on the show. He's just a great interview. Love it. But I am not going to admit I'm wrong after one half a play. I'm not going to admit that I'm wrong after a couple of weeks. I think Alec Pierce is going to be legit. But I'm just taking your advice. You say to give it more time, I'm giving it more time. It's exactly what I'm doing. There is no doubt that the skill set is there for those two. But it is more than just those two. It's other guys. What do they call it? The wide receiving room. It's other guys to step up. It's the tight ends to step up. I think Jelani Woods is going to be good. I think Kylan Granson has an opportunity. I think they have 3 guys, including Mo Alley Cox, that are very much so alike. But I think the opportunity is there. But you guys tell me I have to have more patience and more of a sample size than what I have. And as I mentioned earlier this week, my sample size is much larger than yours. So I will tell you, and I will own it when I am wrong. But at some point, it's going to take more than just to have a football. If you understand that. And I hope that I am, because talking about this for 4 years has worn me and has worn you out. It's kind of like the Myles Turner thing. It's worn out. Hey, last night, it's like my fault that he steps on a ball boy's foot. It's not my fault. You know, I told you so. Trade this guy. Get rid of this guy. I don't care what. Just get rid of him. Cut him. Again, all that shows is how stupid you are. You don't want to cut him. You don't want to get rid of him for anything. At the least, you want the absolute best in return for him. You want him to play. You want him to be something, an object of desire on the open market in the NBA. That's what you want. It's what you want, I think, right? You want the betterment of that team? That's exactly what you want. Unless you just want to be a jackass, and then that's probably not what you want. Brent Holverson rejoins us right now. The last 5 minutes has just been absolutely fantastic right here. Have you enjoyed it?
It's been great. I've been looking for your shovel, though. I didn't. Do you bring that with you everywhere you go?
I'm go.
Just leave it up
it's
on the
right
side?
out there, yeah.
Right.
I'm good at scooping horse poop. I've done that. We used to have Founders Day back in the day in Owensburg, and actually, it wasn't so much me with a shovel. It was me on a motorcycle, and then I'd spin out in the horse poop piles.
So now you've elevated up to just
people behind me. We had my friends behind me. I'd spin out in a horse poop and throw it on them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just me.
Jackassery,
right there.
I love it.
All right, we got a big one coming up later on tonight in terms of betting with our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots. New Orleans and Arizona.
I love Arizona. I really do. I think Hopkins coming back, like we talked earlier. I think it's going to be a big motivational piece. Arizona has not done anything that we thought they would this year. It just not look good. I think getting him back is going to be great. I did also see that Connor is going to be a true game time decision. So if you got him in fantasy, make sure you check it 90 minutes before the game. And then Eno Benjamin would be your guy to hop in there to take over. So I do like him, though, and I think, again, with as depleted as New Orleans is, I think we're going to see the Cardinals do some stuff tonight. But, hey, again, that's why they play the game.
See, it's weird about it. Cliff Kingsbury is saying, this head coach of the Cardinals, I don't know what's going on with this offense. It's unrecognizable. Normally, in the past couple of years, Kyler Murray has been good to this point. It's basically mid to late November and December when he starts to fail. Right now, that offense is failing much quicker than we have seen the past couple of years.
Really is. I think getting some confidence boosters back, like we talked about Rodgers, not having Devontae Adams. You got to have your guy, right? Hopkins has been his guy, and he's looking for him. Now he's got him back tonight, and you had a little Robbie Anderson. Don't know if he's going to play tonight or not, but Zach Ertz has looked pretty good. I think you're going to see. I threw a little flyer on Zach Ertz. He was plus. He was 13-1 first touchdown scored, so I kind of like that a little bit too.
Right.
But look for Murray to get it on his legs again. We've got to see him do some more running and do what Kyler Murray does, And I think by, again, getting that game going, stretching the field a little bit with Hopkins, I think you're going to see a little bit more Murray running tonight, running around, and kind of getting back to his free flow that he has that we know of, So, I don't know. Again, just a personal thought.
Amazon Prime tonight for New Orleans and Arizona. Brent Holverson, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Quick break and we'll come back. We have the Harrah's Hoosier Park Race of the Day. 50-50 in betting and dining. Hey, Kyle, you okay if I give away a bullseye right here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, number 9 at 239-1070. Now, it would be really good if you guys were going to Nashville. Now, I guess if you don't have tickets to Nashville and you just want to go and be a part of this Titans tailgate where we're going to invade the Titans tailgate coming up on Sunday, that's fine too. But here's what we have for you. I got a pair of passes to the Titans tailgate coming up in Nashville on Sunday. It's 3 hours before the kick of the game, right? That's Central Time down in Nashville. Number 9 at 239-1070. If you are going, that'd work out better, but whatever. Number 9 at 239-1070. You'll be able to invade the Titans tailgate with BullseyeEventGroup.com coming up on Sunday down in Nashville. We'll get a winner in the Harrah's Hoosier Park Race of the Day. Straight at you next.
What up, world? This is your boy Kevin Hart, a.k.a. the comedic rock star. And guess what? I'm coming to a city near you with my new tour, Reality Check. And we are adding shows, doing it big. Brand new hour material, big laughs, big energy. Make sure you're in the building. Don't miss your chance to get your tickets.
Don't miss Kevin Hart Reality Check Tour this Sunday at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Get tickets now.
Go to KevinHartNation.com now.
Ready to simplify your purchases while earning unlimited cash back? Well, Forum Credit Union's unlimited cashback credit card is for you. No more redeeming points or cap rewards. Forum's card pays you unlimited cash for every purchase every month automatically. Plus, make secure mobile payments, contactless purchases, and get real-time spending alerts so you can stay on top of your expenses. It's the perfect card for everyday items and monthly subscriptions. Visit forumcu.com to apply for your card today or stop by any Forum location. Again, for info, forumcu.com today.
With PXG Golf Clubs, performance is in the bag. Get custom fitted for your new PXG sticks at the Golf Club of Indiana. Located in Whitestown, the Golf Club of Indiana's Performance Academy offers a private PXG fitting bay to get you fully dialed in with PXG clubs that are optimized for distance, accuracy, and feel. To schedule your custom PXG fitting experience at the Golf Club of Indiana, call 480-435-7803 or visit pxg.com. PXG. Nobody makes golf clubs the way we do. Period.
Who is running your business anyway? You may ask yourself this sometimes as the owner of a business or partner in a practice group. Take your internet and phone service. You've pivoted to do more business virtually. But when dealing with the hiccups that come with that, your managed service provider puts the burden on you, saying,
check your gateway and firewall.
Frustrated, you say that's what you need them for. But what you get back is,
okay, put in a ticket and I'll get back to you next week.
Maybe it's time to get control.
This is Troy Brasso, owner of Teltech Business. There's no consultant double talk or call center runaround with Teltech Business. We specialize in premium business internet and voice over IP for Central Indiana companies like Skilling Corporation and Tempe CPAs, and often at a price that's much less than what you're paying now. Give us a try.
Take control and start saving today. Let local professionals help you with your business, internet, and VoIP needs. Call Teltech Business for a free review today at 317-390-8585.
BullseyeEventGroup.com, the Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. That's coming up a week from Sunday. The Commanders in town versus the Colts. And you got you covered, too. All you can eat, all you can drink. You got DJ Skids, DJ Helicon. That's going to be a blast, right? So be in there, the Bullseye Event Center for that. And remember, too, you've got that November trip to Vegas. You're going to get a flight to and from. You're going to stay at Caesars, a Vegas-style Colts VIP tailgate. And everybody's going to get tickets to go to Allegiant Stadium and check out the Colts and the Raiders. Going to be a fantastic. Can you imagine me on that weekend? That'd be wild. BullseyeEventGroup.com. If you want to go November to Vegas, log on and make sure you're a part of that package now.
In the construction business and can't find what you need? Quality Supply and Tool has served Hoosiers for over a quarter of a century. Tom Hawk is the branch manager of the Indy location on South Harding Street.
We've always been big on keeping our shelves fully stocked of inventory of industrial-grade tools, concrete, masonry products, as well as the necessary accessories to help get the job done. You don't have it, you can't sell it. Our experience allows us to help with getting the pros as well as the weekend pro taken care of.
Quality Supply and Tool also has locations in Bloomington and Jeffersonville to help you think outside the box. Store.
Bud Light Blue Fridays are at the Ale Emporium North this week. Drink ice cold Bud Light and sign up for your chance to win Colts Commanders tickets as JMV broadcasts live. Bud Light, brewed for the Colts and their fans.
Hey, it's John here, Harris Hoosier Park Race of the Day. The winner's going to get 50-50. VIP style in betting and dining from Harris Hoosier Park Racing and Casino in Anderson. I'm just going to give you the names of those involved. Bradley Hood, Justin Bill Cash, Lee Adams, Sue Johnson, Craig McKenna, Kim Becker, Brian D., Toby Conlon, Josh Sparks. Somebody's going to win. We'll find out who does. Here's your Harris Hoosier Park Race of the Day. Good luck.
The following is presented by the Indiana Standard Bred Breed Development Program. From Harris Hoosier Park Racing and Casino, it's time for the Harness Race of the Day on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
They are up. Leading well in the center is Princess Elaine. Proven Point on the inside, and then Image of a Beach. Beautiful Lights is next. Racing in fifth is Miss Calypso as Princess Elaine has gone on a break. Princess Elaine off stride, entering the first turn. Proven Point inherits the lead. Racing in second, Beautiful Lights. Image of a Beach third, followed by Miss Calypso. Then it's She's No Snowflake with Keep the Light On. Following there is Vel Miss Taylor sharing the cost. And the trailer is Princess Elaine, who is now back on stride. 29-2, the time for the first quarter. They're on the back stretch, and Proven Point leads. Pocketed second is Beautiful Lights. Image of a Beach is racing third. Next fourth, Miss Calypso, then She's No Snowflake. Following there, Keep the Light On with Vel Miss Taylor in seventh. Eighth is Sharing the Cost, and last of the nine, Princess Elaine. By the half in a minute and 3/5, 31-1 for the second quarter. Proven Point continues to take them along, in front by a length. Beautiful Lights is second. Image of a Beach third. Here comes Keep the Light On, who is now taken fourth from Miss Calypso, with Vel Miss Taylor advancing up on the outside also. Following along wide is Sharing the Cost, and then Princess Elaine. She's No Snowflake is now the trailer. As they come to the top of the stretch, Proven Point remains the leader. 3 quarters in 1:30-4, 30-1 for the third quarter. Now to the outside is Beautiful Lights, and Beautiful Lights is right alongside of Proven Point. Miss Taylor is third. Image of a Beach races next in fourth, as Princess Elaine is trying to get into it once again. Keep the Light On, trying to come through down on the pylons. Beautiful Lights has the lead in deep stretch. It's Beautiful Lights, Keep the Light On surging, but Beautiful Lights is the winner. Second was Keep the Light On, and then it looked like Miss Taylor might have gotten third, a 4-way photograph for show, 159-3.
Just minutes from Indy off I-69 and Anderson, Harrah's Hoosier Park has live standard-bred horse racing through December 10th, thanks in part to the Indiana Standard-Bred Breed Development Program. And keep listening for your chance to win with the Harrah's Hoosier Park Harness Race of the Day on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Join me tomorrow. We're going to have Coach Dave McGinnis of the Titans Radio Network to get us going on Titans Colts. Also the usuals. We got Hammer, we got KB. Join me tomorrow.
The Ride with JMV.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Nicely done, Kyle.
I'm just going to go ahead and let this stay right here. A little Grateful Dead for Brent Holverson. Sing it.
Come along with me. There we go. She's got everything.
What does this song compare to as far as Dubage? Is this like, well, is there more been sparked up in the past of this? What's the most sparked up song in the catalog of the Grateful Dead?
All of them.
All of them? Doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter.
Man.
Just saying. So I hear.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what you hear.
That's what
I
hear.
know you didn't partake in.
I know a friend.
Yeah.
I know a friend.
Yeah. What year is this song?
72.
Man. What do you got here, Billy?
Casey Jones.
Casey Jones, that's it? Casey Jones, the most sparked up Grateful Dead song of all time. You think Billy Bowman's accurate with that?
One of. It is
one of,
yes.
yeah. That's what Billy says. I believe Billy and Paul. Hey, by the way, Ale Emporium coming up tomorrow. Bud Light Blue Friday, Commanders Colts tickets for you up in Castleton. The Ale Emporium. You got to be there with us coming up tomorrow. Josh Sparks, the 50-50 VIP prize pack in betting and dining from Harrah's Hoosier Park Racing and Casino in Anderson. Beautiful Lights for the win. Paid out $680. The place was $460. The show was $380. Keep the Light On. Placed at $580. Showed at $360. Miss Taylor checked in with the show at $16.80. The $2 exacta payout went for $30.80. The 50-cent trifecta payout, $193.80. That is your Harrah's Hoosier Park race of the day. By the way, Murph got Jacksonville -3, which is what I had.
You did take
we're on
that.
the same page.
You are
right
on the same
there,
page.
Murph's going to win. It's like last time. I think Murph won last time.
He's going after it again.
Coaches Tavern here downtown has been spectacular.
Been fun as always. You know, next week, John, we're also downtown. We're going to return first time this year, though. We're going to be back at the Slippery Noodle.
The Noodle!
With the Noodle next Thursday.
Noodler next Thursday.
Come out and join us, and we'll get to see Cap and all the guys down there.
How we all doing? Is Cap?
Yeah, doing great. They're doing good. I stopped and saw him last week. Yep.
When is the last time I was there? I checked that. I saw Cappy where was I? At Winter Circle, I think.
Okay.
I saw Cat. This was maybe a month or so back, maybe a month plus back. That's where I saw him.
He's known to dabble in a little sports game.
I think he was just
there
watching some sports.
Well, he might have been. You know? They got some good drinks and food over there, too.
I think he was just watching some sports, but he was hanging out. So the Slippery Noodle next Thursday.
Next Thursday. It'll be good to be back at the Noodle. There's, again, the oldest iconic bar in the state of Indiana, and we'll be coming out live from then. So,
hey, thank you,
as
brother.
always,
I appreciate
pleasure,
it.
brother.
That's Brent Holverson right there, everybody, inside the lounge via YouTube Live. Hey, Kyle, who's going to go? Who won today? Who's going to Nashville for Bullseye?
The winners were Joe Huff and Dan Moore today.
Joe Huff and Dan Moore. All right, I'm going to do that again coming up tomorrow as well. I mentioned Ale Emporium tomorrow. It's a Bud Light Blue Friday. I've got Commanders Colts tickets for you as well. And we're going to get set. The high school football one and done starts for most, not all, but most, coming up tomorrow night. Bob Lovell tomorrow. Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers, tomorrow as well. Our good friend from ESPN Radio, Mike Wells, on this program coming up tomorrow. Cam, great job. Kyle, fantastically done. Brent Holverson, once again, thank you. Tommy S. here at Coaches Tavern, a great spot. A Larceny Bourbon Locks and a Luna Azul Tequila Shots Thursday. Tomorrow at 3 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Have a great night. Thanks, YouTubers.